the only hero destined to save the world, decisively chooses to ally with the demon army upon arriving in this new realm, all due to a single blunder from the goddess. The hero meant to land in the novice village mistakenly ends up at the demon king's lair. To make matters worse, the strongest warrior stands right before him, but he's utterly oblivious because the goddess previously informed him his first stop would be the novice village filled with weaklings. Thus, the hero boldly strikes at the demon. Perish, you low-tier tutorial monster. The outcome, however, is entirely predictable. He gets trounced. Now the hero finds himself locked away in a cell. Refusing to quit, he yells that he wants another shot at the Minotaur. Unfortunately, his ruckus draws the attention of the Chief Lieutenant Gobzo. Music. Gobzo casually drops his massive sword on the ground, and the colossal thud nearly sends the hero into a panic. That's a genuine sword. Fine, I'll music, stay quiet. Gobzo turns to leave. Human, make another sound, and I'll cook you up. Once he departs, Il sits on the floor, utterly bewildered because the goddess had assured him that this world would be an easy and enjoyable journey void of peril. Plus, he'd even have the village chief's 18 daughters as companions. Music. Unbeknownst to him, all of this was a lie spun by the goddess, just to fulfill her performance quota by sending them to another realm. As Il struggles to grasp the situation, a voice pierces through from the neighboring cell. Are you the new hero? Il quickly replies and inquires about the identity of the voice. I'm a hero too. We're currently locked in the slave dungeon of the Demon King's castle. Il is taken aback, but what follows is even more astonishing. The hero in the adjacent cell grins menacingly and booms. You so-called heroes, are you all still breathing? As his words, music resonate, the entire dungeon erupts. I'm an S-rank hero. I'm still alive. Me too. The hero beams with pride. As you can see, there are over 100 heroes in this dungeon. The big boss here is the Minotaur, Eldin, and Gobzo is his ruthless right-hand man. Music. Both are notoriously cruel. Suddenly, the hero's voice falters. Our current fate is all thanks to that demon Rachel. Il is stunned. Rachel isn't that the goddess's name. Through the hero's narration, he learns a hero's first destination should typically be a city, but because of Rachel's mistake, they were teleported to this dreadful spot. Yet since rookie heroes lack real combat skills, they're utterly helpless. It's a nightmare of a beginning. The very next day, he experiences true hell. Not only does he labor for the Demon King without pay, but the situation worsens. After his shift, Gobzo uses Il as a mount. Onward, slaves, you stout little goblin. One day, I'll take you down. Once back in the slave dungeon, Il is utterly drained. But after a brief rest, he suddenly recalls the goddess mentioning heroes possess a status window privilege, so he urgently summons it. Examining it, he finds his stats seem superior to regular folk, but given he was once the universe boxing champion, this seems reasonable. Endurance 31. However, this statement shocks the hero next door. Incredible. Music. You have 31 endurance at just level 1, yet I'm still a slave. Il remains unfazed. Yet the hero remains convinced he's unique. He's definitely destined to escape and embrace his destiny as a true hero. But with this boost of motivation, Il just feels like throwing in the towel. When Deep Night makes his entrance, he quietly rises, intending to revisit the status window to see if he overlooked anything. After a short search, he actually stumbles upon something. What in the world are these hero points? Earlier, he asked the hero about them, but they claimed this didn't exist. Am I the only real hero here? Just as Il ponders this, a sudden burst of light cuts through his thoughts. Long time no see, Mr. Hero. The unexpected guest is the goddess Rachel. Allow this goddess to explain what hero points are. They're essential for forging the ultimate hero. But despite the goddess's helpful response, Il's temper flares immediately. I couldn't care less about hero points or any of that nonsense, but right now I'm going to take you down. Moments later, the goddess is knocked down and pleads for mercy. I'm so sorry, I had no idea a tiny spill on the magic circle would mess with your teleportation. The higher gods learned of this, thus punishing the goddess by binding her as Il's personal goddess until he defeats the Demon King. You're a triple S rank hero, so this task should be easy for you, but Il couldn't care less. Instead of chasing after the Demon King, he'd rather just hang out and lead a normal life. His past life as the universe's boxing champion had him fighting endlessly and still dying alone. I'm so exhausted by a life filled with combat and death. The goddess is momentarily thrown off balance because until her mission is complete, she can't return to her world, and just as she tries to sway him, a noise suddenly erupts from outside the door, startling Il to instantly grab the goddess and signal for silence. Don't worry about me, I can use invisibility magic. Upon hearing this, Il releases the goddess, redirecting his attention to the door. The visitor is the second in command, Gobzo. Mr. Lauderen wishes to see you. After delivering this message, he takes Il to the office. The reason being that Gobzo mentioned he has a new mount, and praises Il for his hard work piquing Lauderen's interest. That short, chubby little monster actually complimented me. One day, I'll take you down. Your dedication is commendable, so I'm offering you the position of chief slave. Upon hearing this, the goddess is immediately taken aback. This guy is truly vying for his attention. You'll refuse him, right? You must firmly turn him down. A human hero should never submit to the demon forces. Naturally, Il smirks with mischief, then kneels and bows exaggeratedly. Thank you, sir. I promise I won't let you down. Excellent. I'm beginning to like you. Lauderen nods with approval. 3 days later, Il kicks off his new role. Move it, move it. My grandma could outrun you. No breaks until you finish. He's extremely pleased with his newfound position. Ha 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 Has this guy completely lost it? I heard he was a human hero once. Can you even imagine? Il's antics are outrageous even for the goddess Rachel watching nearby. Are you out of your mind? If this keeps up, we'll be in serious trouble. But Il brushes her off with a challenging glare. You little sparrow have no clue about my real intentions. Why are you still on the floor? Are you aiming to be a turtle? Get up and hustle now. After working the slaves hard, he still manages to salute to Lauderen's office. Thank you, sir. I'll give it my all. This moment drives the goddess absolutely mad, and she begins endlessly insisting on what a true hero should do, practically drilling it into Il's ears. So, he promptly opens the hero panel. Due to a fool's blunder, you've been teleported to the Demon King's dungeon. Current mission: earn the favor of Demon Army Officer Lauderen. I'm just sticking to the hero's plan. Got it. Yet the goddess refuses to buy it no matter how hard he tries. Even after they return to the slave dungeon, she believes he's still deceiving her. Il can't take it anymore and grabs the goddess. Who do you think is the fool that got me stuck here? After a warning, the goddess settles down quite a bit and even stops her nagging while he works. Is that really his objective? Only higher-ups can alter mission details, so why would they switch this up? As the goddess ponders, Gobzo shows up. Mr. Lauderen wants to see you right now. On receiving the command, Il cheerfully heads to the office. After 2 days of hard work, Il finally gains the commander's approval. Excellent job, young man. Seeing the flush on the others' faces, Il can't help but be taken aback. So he quickly seizes the moment before Lauderen can do anything odd and salutes immediately. Sir, may I train the slaves? I'm committed to creating an elite team where one can accomplish the work of 3. In that case, the Demon King's castle will be finished in a week. At first, Lauderen isn't on board because he believes human bodies are too fragile to train and work at the same time. But considering it's him proposing this crazy idea, Lauderen gladly agrees. Thank you, sir. With the green light, Il dashes back to the slave dungeon. However, as soon as he arrives, the goddess Rachel starts crying uncontrollably. My hero must have lost it. Not only is he kneeling to the demon army, but he's also helping them subjugate his own kind. How am I supposed to live with this? The tears and chaos quickly annoy Il, and he can only desperately disclose his plan. Listen, I don't aim to be an enemy to humans. I'm just using the slaves to kickstart a rebellion. Il has figured that this castle holds a total of 3,000 slaves, while the demon soldiers are merely 500. Not far off is a human base, a prime escape route. Il speaks with such logic that even the goddess who never trusted him is impressed. It seems my Mr. Hero is not just a brawn over brains type because he achieved the mission to win Lauderen's favor. Il earns 100 hero points. Let's see what treasures the hero shop offers. He declares this, eagerly opening the shop, but the items inside leave him in astonishment. Frank skill: hold breath. Skill description enables the hero to hold their breath. He thought this skill was ridiculous enough, but as he continues scrolling, he realizes he was too quick to judge. Frank item: dog feces. Item description: please take it. Witnessing this, the goddess bursts into laughter. Don't feel disheartened. This is merely a level 1 shot. If you upgrade it to level 2, you'll get more impressive things like larger servings of feces. Hold on a second. This is what you claimed would make me the ultimate hero. It's time to kick off the training for our warriors. The following day, let's chant our 3rd Legion's motto together. Let's roll. We are the mighty demon army. We will crush the humans. Let our glory be sung. Lauderen from the tower takes in every word. Excellent. Seems this young guy hasn't let me down. Just as he's soaking in the pride, Godzo's second in command bursts in panicked. This isn't good. The human army is moving in fast. The 8th division currently facing them has already fallen. It's only a matter of moments before they reach us. The thought of abandoning this almost finished fortress has Lauderen hesitating, but Godzo's unwavering stance makes it clear. We've got to retreat right now. Hearing this, Lauderen casts a glance downstairs. He knows the age-old reason for war: wealth is the ultimate prize. And for Lauderen, the most invaluable treasure here is none other than Il. You carry on first. I'll take Il along later. Saying this, he kicks the window wide open. Unfortunately, Il witnesses this scene. Seems today's combat training isn't happening. That guy's been watching from the shadows. Suddenly, Lauderen lands behind him and turns around smoothly. Listen, Il, we have no time, it's time to go. Where to? Il looks on confused, but as they bicker, the human army has already made their entrance. Charge at the commander's command, war erupts between humans and demons. But soon the commander zeroes in on Lauderen standing at the edge. There's the Red Nightmare. Taking him out is priority 1. Il quickly realizes what's unfolding. The human army is launching an attack. Perhaps this could be his chance. If I just stab Lauderen, I could go back to human society a hero. As Il ponders his next move, a human knight charges in with incredible speed, but Lauderen simply reaches out and crushes the knight's solid skull. Yet something even more astonishing happens next. He grabs the knight and viciously slams him down into the ground. This devastating blow ripples across the battlefield, overwhelming nearly all the humans present. The first thing he does afterward is turn his head calmly to look at Il. Are you all right? Terrified, Il quickly salutes. Sir, I'm fine. I'll back off at once. Even though Lauderen singly took down an entire human squad, the pressure from incoming reinforcements forces them to retreat. My adventure is finished. My second chance at life is over. Il stands frozen. Never did he expect this dude to be strong enough to utterly shatter his dreams of returning to human society with one blow. On the upside, heading to the Demon Army HQ is an opportunity to learn about their strength. Right, shut it, you liar. Il vows never to believe this so-called goddess's garbage ever again. But their spat stirs Lauderen from his slumber. Did I hear something? I was napping, so I missed it. Il quickly waves his hands to dismiss. No, I was just expressing how honored I am to accompany you, sir. Upon hearing this, Lauderen's expression brightens and an odd thought crosses his mind. Once we get to HQ, I'm going to officially recommend you join the Demon Army. Il is completely frozen. This means escape is basically out of the question. It's my honor. 5 hours later, the convoy rolls into Demon Army headquarters, and right when they arrive, Lauderen is set on taking Il to meet the commander, though he knows it's not entirely appropriate. He's convinced the commander will appreciate this young guy. But watch your words closely, otherwise you music might just find yourself in trouble. Shortly after, they arrive outside the hall. Commander Hermes, it's me, Lauderen. As soon as he speaks, a soft female voice comes from within. Come in. With the music go-ahead granted, Lauderen steps into the hall and readily accepts blame for the fortress's downfall. But Hermes thinks otherwise. She blames the supply officer for the mess. If there wasn't a shortage of supplies, the castle could have been finished ages ago. I'll get a body bag ready for him. While saying this, an intimidating aura emanates from Hermes that makes Il feel like he can't breathe. His limbs are gripped by an instinctive fear. What on earth is this heavy pressure? It's more intense than anyone I've faced before. After a while, Hermes diminishes her aura and spots Il next to her. So she inquires about his identity. This is the person I mentioned earlier, Il. I brought him to join the Demon Army. Upon this revelation, Hermes instantly appears before Il. She's keenly interested in Lauderen's suggestion, but she also expresses a concern. He has a human body. He could easily end up as a meal here. Get eaten. Il, stunned, looks at Lauderen like he's his only hope. With me around, you've got nothing to fear. I'll personally train you to harden you up. But Hermes quickly dismisses this idea, saying it's just not worth the time for a high-ranking officer like Lauderen to train a human. So, she digs her hand into her mouth and starts to wriggle. Her body contorts wildly before she finally hurls out a bizarre creature from her head. From today onward, you're my pet guardian. His name is Popo. Isn't he adorable? Adorable music, not a chance. Il just wants to steer clear of this thing. But with Hermes putting the pressure on, he reluctantly agrees. It's my honor to look after Popo. Very good, Hermes replies, tossing the dog at him. And don't forget to feed him. When he's hungry, he gets cranky. And when music cranky, he has a tendency to munch on his guardian. Just like that, Il manages to get into the Demon Army while also being handed a heroic quest, the objective of which is to earn Popo's affection. Il glances at the snoozing Popo. What does this have to do with my journey to heroism? Just as he wonders, the door to the room swings open and a balding goblin strides in. Music. His partner intending to Popo. Il initially tries to be friendly, but he realizes that if danger strikes, the goblin will likely view him as a snack first. We need to go fix Popo's dinner now, the balding goblin commands assertively. If you're with me, we can start now. Before he can finish, Popo stirs awake, alarmed. The goblin dashes behind Il. This newcomer is your meal, he says while attempting to hold Il down to make it easy for Popo to feast. One of us has to go anyway, so why not you? But the balding goblin seriously underestimates Il's strength and gets tossed aside. Snack time. Moments later, the sounds of Popo munching and gulping signal the end of his meal. Yet, after eating, he's still not satisfied, turning his eyes toward the goddess Rachel. Help. But the balding goblin completely misjudges Il's might and is swiftly tossed aside. Snack time. Moments later, the sounds of Popo munching and swallowing go silent. Yet after feasting, he's still not satisfied, so the goddess Rachel becomes his new target. Help me. Hurry up and help me. As they dash away, Popo's fury intensifies, even seeing Il as a snack. Quick. Think of a trick to soothe an angry pup. A light bulb goes off in Il's head. No dog can resist these words. Let's head outside to play. As soon as Popo hears this, his gaze sharpens. Then he leaps into Il's embrace. Just as I suspected. Soon, Il takes Popo outside, but they've lost sight of the kitchen. While they meander aimlessly, a goblin suddenly shows up in front of them. Il quickly shouts, "Hey, where's the kitchen at kitchen? It's to the right." After saying that, the goblin bolts away without a glance back. This makes Il burst out laughing. Are all the demon army folk this skittish? Seems like I can count on the dog's strength from music. Now on. Yet, just when he feels triumphant, he turns around to see Popo has vanished. Oh no, where did the pup run off to? They both start searching frantically, but luckily, Their efforts pay off and soon they spot Popo again. "My dear, do you know how anxious I was?" Il glances down and sees something's off. "Did you just take a bite out of someone?" Just as he's shocked, a loud voice echoes nearby. "Captain Regis has been swallowed whole. I bet it was Popo." Rachel's grin instantly falters. Who else could it be? Il quickly snatches up Popo and takes off with the goblins trailing behind. Alas, their short legs struggle to keep pace with Il, but in a twist of fate, they run straight into a dead end. Turning around, a mob of goblins has already encircled them. "The human who took down the captain will also deal with you." 2. Another goblin licks his chops. "I hope our captain hasn't been digested yet. I've always wanted a taste." In this nearly hopeless situation, Il suddenly gets a brilliant idea. He thinks he can scare them off. "How dare you disrespect us?" With that, Il shakes Popo in his hold. "Do you even know who he is? He's Popo." As his words hang in the air, the goblins reflexively back away. They know all too well how fearsome Hermes is. Commander Hermes' pet, but there's one who's brave enough not to back down. Doubting this human's words, so Il kneels down and gently pets Popo's chin music a few times, activating beast mode. The instant he lets go, Popo leaps straight at that goblin. "That's what you get for doubting me." In just 15 seconds, Popo has devoured him whole. "Anyone else care to question me?" "No." The rest of the goblins bow in submission. But at that moment, Hermes' voice suddenly comes from behind Il. "What's all this racket about?" Turns out, a cute newcomer is up to something entertaining. Afterward, he's summoned to the office. Upon finding out the details, Hermes breaks into hearty laughter. "So you're using Popo's identity to save your skin." Seeing this, Il quickly kneels to apologize. Yet Hermes thinks nothing of it. "You are still human after all, and fairly clever at that," Hermes states while raising Il's chin. "But you're a man. You should embrace our demon army's way of resolving issues with strength." Hermes returns to his seat, then poses a question to Il. Interested in taking on a senior role in our demon army, Il is completely taken aback. With his limited abilities, the only way to rise in rank would be to sell himself out. "I get it's tough with your current power." Hermes lays down the rules. "Demons can take someone's rank by dueling. You can't use my or Popo's names anymore. I know this is rough, but I'll have your back for a month. After that month, you must beat the opponent I select for you. If you prevail, I'll keep protecting you for another month until you reach the battalion commander's spot." Il can't help but gulp. "What if I fail?" Hermes smirks darkly. "Ideally, you'd better die fighting." Il has no choice but to nod in agreement to Hermes. "She even picked my opponent right then and there. Seems like I only have 30 days left to breathe." Il trudges out of the kitchen, looking for something to feed Popo. But as he reaches the door, he sees blood smeared all over it. Il hesitantly pokes his head in, ready to bolt at any sign of danger. "Hey there, sorry to intrude." No sooner are the words out than a red goblin turns around. He's Culkin, the head chef. "You must be the human the commander mentioned." Il quickly nods with a grin and explains he's just there to grab some food for Popo. Surprisingly, the goblin doesn't even hesitate before saying there's none. Il is immediately shocked. "I'm under no obligation to assist you. Commander Hermes just ordered that we stay out of your way. If you want meat, then, like us, go hunt for it yourself." As he says this, he gestures toward a bunch of goblins behind him, happily gnawing on other goblins. "Is that Captain Puck's meat? It looks pretty tasty." Watching this unfold, Il is left astounded. These folks aren't chefs, they're demons. But in order to prevent Popo from becoming dinner, he reluctantly decides to join this group of goblins for a hunt outside. Unexpectedly, in the very first hunt, Il faces a life-threatening situation. But thankfully, a crew of goblins steps in, blocking the attack aimed at him. Staring at the not-quite-dead beast in front of him, Il is bewildered. Who's really hunting whom here? Suddenly, Rachel chimes in with a suggestion, urging them to bolt while they can. Il is on board with this decision since he senses that sticking around will lead to trouble soon. But just as he lifts his foot, Culkin promptly calls to him. "I'll take the lead." "No need." Culkin shoots him a glance. The hunt's already over. This astonishes Il greatly. He was only dazed for a handful of seconds, but they've already brought down this enormous creature. Yet even so, the goblins have paid a hefty toll. 13 dead and 25 severely wounded to wrap up this hunt. But Culkin shows no sorrow over such heavy losses. Instead, he appears quite pleased with the outcome. Let the team take a breather and gear up for the next hunt. After pondering for a bit, Il suddenly decides against running away. "So really, my Mr. Hero, are you truly going to go monster hunting with them?" "No, I won't need to do that." Il has come to a conclusion. As long as he joins in on the kills, he can rake in experience and level up. Even if he only lands a light punch on the monster, as long as he delivers the final blow, he'll get all the experience. "So I won't wear myself out." Rachel is left speechless upon hearing this. Is he actually a genius? But you're just finding shortcuts. She doesn't want her hero to be that kind of person. However, Il has made his decision. "I must become tough enough within this single month." After declaring this, he approaches Culkin, who seems to instantly grasp his intent to slip away. "Human music, I never thought you'd return. I've been lurking around this whole time." Il quickly feigns ignorance, then he reveals his wish to join the hunt. "You, human." Culkin doesn't rush to give his answer, but instead fixes a penetrating gaze on him. This causes Il's heart to race. "The previous commanders appreciated my modest demeanor. Is this guy any different?" But soon he realizes he's overthinking. In the next moment, Culkin bursts into laughter. A human actually speaks such fearless words. How delightful. Il scratches his head. It's all you're doing, chef. Dizzied by the compliments, Culkin makes yet another decision, which is to let Il take the lead on the monster hunt. This catches Il completely off guard. He only wanted to sit back and soak up the experience. No, no. How can a lowly human like me stand before the esteemed demons? They'll find it intolerable. Just as they're debating, a frantic goblin suddenly rushes in from a short distance. He quickly fills Culkin in on the situation. A pack of wild wolves is on the prowl, contrasting sharply with the goblin's panic. Culkin remains utterly composed. He tightens his grip on the cleaver at his side. More excellent meat to feast on, little ones. Let's roll. Perfect. Il flashes a slight grin. I just need to strike at the right moment and land the finishing blow. I'll help you too, Mr. Hero, Rachel says from nearby and promptly casts a spell. This greatly boosts Il's physical power, although it lasts merely 3 minutes. Music, she hoped for praise, but instead met with a fist the size of a sandbag. You had this and didn't use it sooner. With the boost, Il's confidence shoots up. They're just 5 black wolves. Without warning, he leaps and punches a dying black wolf on the ground. Level up, level up. To his surprise, after snagging a kill, he directly levels up by 4. But just when Il feels ecstatic, he spots a goblin trying to finish off another one nearby. So he pushes the other aside. Sorry, my foot slipped. Gazing at the sprawled black wolves, Il eagerly licks his lips. All final blows belong to me. Under his command, the 5 black wolves are swiftly taken down. Il plans to bolt right away, but unexpectedly, Culkin calls him back, announcing that it's time to feast. This is the chef's chance to relish the freshest delights. With that music, he hands Il a chunk of meat. As one who contributed, perhaps you should savor some too. Staring at the raw, bleeding meat, Il feels a strong aversion but dares not refuse this kind gesture, forcing himself to take a bite. The meat is decent, but consuming it raw and plain is far from enjoyable. As Il contemplates, inspiration strikes him. If he can whip up more delectable dishes, maybe he could win them over. So Il acts without hesitation and purchases a bottle of MSG from the hero shop. This earns him fierce disapproval from the goddess Rachel, as she believes precious hero points shouldn't be squandered on something as trivial as seasoning. Even if they claim it tastes divine, it won't change anything. You need to grasp the bigger picture. Il brushes aside her remarks and instead seizes a piece of meat, beginning to grill it, determined to wow Rachel with results. Just wait and see. This method makes even a shoe insole taste phenomenal. As he showers the tender medium-rare grilled meat with seasoning, an incredibly rich aroma invades the air. I am the culinary deity of this realm. Il feels immense pride in his creation. Once it's finished, he rushes it over to head chef Culkin, as freshly grilled meat is the ultimate temptation. Yet Culkin only casts a fleeting glance and declines politely. Thanks, but I've had enough already. Confronted with this setback, Il refuses to back down. This is my masterpiece. If you would grace me by tasting it, I'd die happy right now. After much insistence, Culkin finally relents, takes a piece of grilled meat and takes a bite. To his surprise, that single bite sends him spiraling back to his childhood. It tastes just like my mother's cooking. Culkin feels incredibly pleased with the grilled meat. To show his gratitude to Il, he gives him a hefty bag of fresh meat in return. If you need anything, don't hesitate to come seek me out again. Il heads back to his quarters with the fresh meat. Popo, I'm back. But out of nowhere, as soon as he speaks, Popo charges at him with his mouth wide open. In a panic, Il quickly yanks the fresh meat from the bag and finally manages to satisfy Popo's hunger. Buddy, eat up. With a steady food supply, Il no longer fears becoming Popo's next meal and now completely takes on the role of his master. After munching down 30 pounds of fresh meat, Popo's affection for Il skyrockets. Congratulations on completing the quest. You successfully won Popo's favor. Reward 200 hero points. Finishing the quest gives Il a huge confidence boost. Perfect. This went just as I envisioned. He quickly opens his status panel. But Rachel, watching from the sidelines, is utterly shocked. Are you saving those 22 free attribute points for your next life or what? That's because some clueless idiot didn't explain what these are for. Il snaps back effectively, silencing Rachel since, as his personal goddess, she's responsible for teaching him everything about this world. Alright, Rachel replies and starts clarifying that attributes fall into 4 categories: strength, agility, stamina, and magic power. Hold on. Il interrupts her when he spots a 5th category: charm. That's a different story. From Rachel's explanation, he learns charm is a hidden attribute that can't be gained through vocation, only enhanced through practice. Nevertheless, Il discovers that his charm toward male monsters is surprisingly high. Rachel continues. Physical attributes are vital early on, but it shifts dramatically in the late game when magic power rules. Il heeds the advice and allocates the majority of his points to physical attributes. Now you can head to the hero shop and snag the basic principles of magic control. Rachel presses on with her tutorial. It will teach you how to manipulate magic power and costs just about 100 hero points. But Il scrolls through the hero shop endlessly, yet can't find this so-called magic control guide anywhere. How can this be? I recall it being one of the most common items found in the hero shop. Rachel looks utterly puzzled. Il releases a heavy sigh. He thought his personal goddess might finally come in handy, but it seems he was just overthinking matters. No, trust me, it's definitely in there. 3 weeks flew by in a flash. During this time, Il finally hit level 100. This took way longer than I anticipated. I must be the hardest working hero out there. The extended grind leaves him in agony. What are you even saying? Aren't you practically an idol now? Idol. This word instantly ignites rage in Il and he slams Rachel to the ground. Do you realize how many near-death experiences I've had? But usually, it takes about half a year to hit level 100. I was just being polite. No offense meant. Rachel looks hurt. You brought this upon yourself. But just as the two are at each other's throats, the door bursts open and a goblin rushes in frantically. Beast Tamer Il, the commander demands your presence. Receiving the command, Il doesn't hesitate and swiftly arrives at Hermes' office. His physical transformation astonishes even Hermes. In under a month, Il's physique has noticeably bulked up, and his magical strength has even doubled. All that from hustling to feed Popo. Il quickly makes an excuse, trying to brush it aside, but Hermes' sharp eyes catch everything. Is it because of the hero system? He starts sweating coldly. Does she know I'm a hero? Hermes rises. She tells Il that from the very first encounter, she saw through it all. The only reason she stayed quiet was due to Lauderen's high favor towards him. And now there's another reason not to eliminate him, which is the duel in just a few days. Yes, Hermes agrees. Then suddenly, a terrifying energy surges from her body and she morphs into her true form, lunging at Il. But when they're less than half a meter apart, she instantly halts. If you want to live, work hard and make me proud. Alright. After saying this, Hermes sends Il back to his quarters. What will truly thrill the audience, dazzling performances or sheer dominance? Il keeps mulling over this question because if he can't impress Hermes, he's toast. What should we do? What should we do? We're doomed. Rachel remains as consistently useless as ever, providing zero support. Let me think. Il opens the hero shop, believing that knowing oneself and the enemy spells victory. However, apart from the opponent's name, they know absolutely nothing else. Perfect. This is it. Il doesn't hesitate to buy an item, a power gauge, to measure the opponent's fighting capability. Il points the power gauge at Rachel, revealing a combat power of 375 without a baseline. He's clueless about what level this represents. Then let me check yours, Rachel offers. She stands behind the power gauge and aims it at Il, and the absurd number instantly leaves her stunned. This power gauge must have a glitch, right? How could you possibly outclass me, because it shows Il's combat power at an astonishing 1560. What's shocking about that? Anyone can see you're the weakest one here, Il says as he retrieves the power gauge. Rachel tears up because before landing in this other world, her power was over 10,000. To confirm the power gauge is legit, Il turns to check Popo's power level. Holy cow. The moment he sees the number, Il is dumbfounded. 47,400. I can't believe we're both weaker than a dog. Are we certain this is even a purebred? After mulling it over briefly, Il decides to bring the power gauge outside to assess others' levels. The weakest ones are the young goblins, while most others are about on his level, but those holding commander ranks boast combat power surpassing 10,000. You mentioned my competitor as a platoon leader, right? Rachel nods. His name is Iskin. I hear he's a half-orc with a pig's head. If he's merely a platoon leader, Il figures his combat power must be around 3,000. If I level up now, I should still manage to take him on. But while the dream seems enticing, reality hits him like a brick wall. When Il sees the opponent's combat power, he's instantly drenched in cold sweat. The guy has over 6,000 combat power. Fighting him would be madness. While Il remains in disbelief, the hero system suddenly activates. Your chances of defeating that pig are practically zero. But never yielding in desperate times is your strength, which is why I'm offering you this opportunity. Boost your combat power to 3,000 within a week. Reward 300 hero points. This quest couldn't arrive at a better moment. Il smirks. Alright, no matter what I'm in. Whether it's the Observer or Hermes, just wait. I will endure to the end. The following morning, Il heads back to the kitchen where Culkin is present. Glancing at Il's power gauge, he can't help but ask, "That's quite the stylish accessory. Where'd you snag it?" Il scratches his head. "I noticed others had one, so I picked up my own." Culkin turns away. He can't wrap his head around this new generation's fashion sense, so he tells Il to prep for hunting. Yes. While Culkin's back is turned, Il quickly scans him with a power gauge over 35,000. This isn't the strength of just any commander. No, it's not limited to him. Il swiftly checks everyone else in the kitchen, and their combat power all far exceeds that of ordinary soldiers. Is this what comes from consistently battling monsters? Observing the scene, a plan suddenly sparks in Il's mind. If he can find someone here with a similar combat power to train with, wouldn't that reveal his true level, Commander Kulkan? May I spar with one of the kitchen staff? Spar. Kulkan is momentarily surprised. Yes, I believe this type of training will greatly benefit my future. Kulkan takes on a serious look. He thinks Il, being human, is already strong enough and doesn't need to rush training. Il feigns disappointment. What a bummer. I came with some meat to grill as a token of thanks today, but I suppose we'll have to save it for another time. Il pretends to stow the meat from his backpack away. Kulkan grabs Il. Let's start right now. Who do you want to face? Preparations for the sparring match quickly unfold. Il selects a beastman named Gorbacham to be his opponent. The choice of Gorbacham over others in the kitchen is straightforward. First, he's of the same beastman type as Kulkan, and Gorbacham seems to be the slowest among the kitchen crew. yet his combat power is 2,500, nearly double Il's. To be honest, he doubts he can win. But I have to win. This beastman in front of me is significantly weaker than Culkin. If I can't even defeat him, I'll stand no chance against Culkin. What's the deal? Aren't we supposed to go hunting? Il and Gorbachev are set to spar. The kitchen soldiers gather round after catching wind of the news. Spar, what does that mean? Fight, how can you not get it? You mean we're going to take each other out? Does that mean Il's on the line? The clueless kitchen soldiers ponder seriously. If Il goes down, who's going to handle the grilling? We can't manage without our meat fix. Let's take out Gorbachev first. Now that's a master plan. Just as the unfortunate kitchen soldier Gorbachev is about to face his fate, Culkin jumps in to roll back the chaos. Enough with the nonsense, you idiots. Sparring isn't about killing. It's just a way to measure each other's strength. The kitchen soldiers whisper something under Culkin's guidance. Is it arm wrestling? Maybe a tug of war? Culkin decides to blow off these clowns. Listen up, Gorbachev. He just needs to ensure that Gorbachev, Il's sparring buddy, fully grasps the scenario. You absolutely can't take Il's life. You can have a go, but don't go overboard. Got it, got it. Gorbachev nods with a dopey look, absent-mindedly scratching his head, completely unreliable. But don't hold back too much either. Just give him a hit that makes him feel it. Understand crystal clear. Best not to break anything. Music sparring can be pretty tricky. After we're done, I'll dish out more meat, so give it your all. As soon as Gorbachev hears the word meat, his eyes light up like fireworks. Count on me, head chef. Gorbachev suddenly finds his voice and steps up. Il, let's kick off this sparring match. Alright, just take it easy on me. Gorbachev and Il face off, keeping a respectful distance. Culkin takes the referee's spot and raises his arm. Ready, go. With Culkin's arm dropping, the match ignites. Gorbachev gets into his stance. I don't want to hurt him too badly. Il is the one who cooks our meat. I don't want to mess him up. Il charges at Gorbachev like a bullet from the start. Gorbachev raises his arm, but even a light tap could flatten his face. Suddenly, Gorbachev's punch doesn't land on Il. It just whooshes through thin air. At the same moment, he notices Il's foot swinging in and feels the whoosh of the air. Massive shoe. The mud-cake's soul looms larger and larger. I'm about to get music wrecked. That's Gorbachev's final thought. Unsurprisingly, Il drops him with just one kick. 2 hours later, the Third Legion arrives in the woods behind headquarters. Even with no monsters around yet, Il's buzzed in an unusual frenzy. Music truth is, he didn't think he'd win. But he just clocked a beastman with double his fighting power in one blow. Now he realizes that strength isn't everything, and he's got the chops to go toe-to-toe with Iskin. Of course, his Culkin is way stronger than today's Gorbachev, wielding a strength that truly deserves to be called monstrous. Music. A whole gang of young Terras appears ahead. Finally, the news Il has been waiting for lands. Seriously. So this zone is Terra's domain. Culkin looks intrigued. This feels off. This area doesn't usually host Terra populations. This makes the typically resolute Culkin waver a bit. Il steps closer. Is there an issue? Is Terra's meat not up to snuff? No way. Terra meat is super tasty, especially that chewy Terra bone marrow. It's a treat beyond compare. But Terras thrive in packs. If we're not careful, they could swarm us, especially the mother Terras. The Terra queen with those fierce maternal instincts. If we rile up her pups, we'll be in deep trouble. So, can we wrap things up now? Il scratches, his head chuckling. Nope, since Taurus meat is too tasty, we still have to hunt them down. Kulin responds calmly. Anyway, the Taurus queen seldom shows her face outside her lair, so we should be fine. He lifts his massive cleaver. Everyone charge. Today's feast is Taurus bone marrow. The kitchen soldiers roar their battle cry and rush forward. Watch your step. Capture them alive. Their bodily fluids are the real treasure. As the kitchen soldiers engage, Il begins his performance. He knocks a soldier aside by accident, then sweeps in for the final blow on the monsters. That final blow belongs to me. I need to level up. Il kicks down one after another, his level climbing steadily. You've got a knack for kill-stealing hero. Naturally, Il beams with joy. At this rate, he'll definitely outshine Iskin soon. But suddenly, the ground starts shaking violently. What's happening? Il glances around bewildered. The kitchen soldiers are just as stunned. But soon the source of the tremors reveals itself ominously. It's the Taurus queen. Her colossal frame nearly blots out the sky, glaring at the heap of young Terra's corpses below. The queen quakes with fury. She's out for blood, and she's not going to hold back. Il raises his gaze. He's eager to see just how fierce this queen, even Culkin respects, really is. But as soon as Il points the power gauge at her, it goes off with a loud alarm. Immeasurable. Immeasurable. Culkin, what now? Il turns his head only to see Culkin making a run for it. Everyone's fate is sealed. Music brings us back together. Stay alive. Il is in shock. What's up with that irresponsible jerk? In this critical moment, the Taurus queen's legs fly at everyone like missiles. A mass of goblins, caught off guard, are wiped out in an instant. But the queen is still unsatisfied, unleashing a roar that reverberates through the heavens, almost bursting Il's eardrums. What's with that bizarre noise? But before he can comprehend it, Rachel's voice suddenly bursts through his thoughts. Hero behind you. Alarmed, Il spins around to a shocking sight. An army of young Terras is rushing toward him. Run. Il has no option but to flee with the main group. Those who lag behind meet instant death at the queen's hands. Help me, piercing cries echo throughout the crowd. But Il can't afford to fret. He knows if he stops, he's toast. He's not ready to bite the dust. After sprinting for 10 minutes, Il finally reaches a cave. This should be a safe spot, right? Rachel nods. Safe. Music, I checked. There are no monsters inside. Though Il doesn't fully trust her words, it must be safer in here than out in the open. So after a moment's hesitation, he steps inside. The cave is deep and wide, seeming naturally formed. Doesn't that mean the music Taurus queen could squeeze in here too? Rachel's words freeze Il in place. He swiftly scans his surroundings and spots a puddle of green slime on the rocks. Could this be left by Terra? But Culkin said there are no terrors around here, so they delve deeper, only to stumble upon something even more horrifying. The depths of the cave are littered with countless Terrace eggs. Is this the Terrace Queen's den? Il stares at the scene before him in disbelief. Music, we can't stay here. Yet while he's in a stupor, a tustrous spike lunges swiftly at him. Il ducks to the side. What's an adult Taurus doing here too? No time to think. He darts off in a random direction. Are you certain this way leads to the exit? Il stays silent. Rachel keeps sprinting. But soon enough, something trips him up. Out of desperation, Il snatches an egg from the ground as a weapon. He hurls it at the Terrace with all his strength and unsurprisingly, it catches it. But the Terrace cradles the egg gently as if terrified it might crack. What's happening? Il eyes the Terrace, which has ceased its onslaught. Is it protecting that egg? Rachel stays quiet for a few seconds. I think it likes the egg you tossed. There's slime all over it. Il glances at the eggs scattered on the ground and suddenly a thought strikes him. Could these be Terrace eggs? Il smirks, then picks up another egg. Instantly the Terrace tenses. He assumes a throwing posture, intentionally tossing it away from the creature. But the attentive adult Terrace still snatches it. What insane speed. What's our next move? Il smirks. Isn't it clear? I've got over 100 eggs right here. Over 10 minutes later, the adult Terrace is panting, worn out. Yet, most of the eggs didn't make it. Come on, hand me the next egg. Il reaches out to Rachel. That was the last one. Hearing this, Il is left stunned. This is not good. The furious adult Terrace no longer holds back and charges at breakneck speed. Buff me fast, buff me. Rachel agrees and Il's arm glows with blue light. That creature has weakened from catching eggs, making me able to win. Il raises his fist and strikes with all his strength. Upon impact, the Terrace's shell shatters cleanly in two, exposing pure white bone. I've won. Il stares at himself in disbelief. Hero, are you all right? The moment the buff vanishes, Il feels his body giving in. It hurts like crazy. Hang on, I can cast a healing spell. Rachel says, her hands glowing brightly as Il's injuries gradually mend. Once his wounds are healed, he allocates all his attribute points from leveling up. But the next instant, a familiar voice echoes from deep within the cave. Il glances up startled, and it's Culkin. You're still kicking, huh? Naturally. Il feels baffled, recalling how he had fled. How did you wind up here? I stumbled upon this cave while escaping. Guess we're both fortunate. Culkin chuckles joyfully. Yet, in this moment, Il informs him this is the Terrace's nest. Those are all Terrace eggs. This place serves as their hatchery. Culkin stares at the eggs with intense interest, remaining silent. These soft eggs are premium ingredients. Most folks won't ever taste them before they die. We need to get out of here now. Il can't help but curse. Culkin grabs an egg and pops it in his mouth. The Terrace Queen chasing me has probably already entered. To take her down, we'd need at least a regiment's worth of troops. So let's savor this last supper. While their bickering footsteps echo from outside. And it's the kitchen soldiers. Is this really my final meal? Il refuses to accept it because he doesn't even have a wife in this other world yet. My life can't end like this. Meanwhile, in Commander Hermes' office, she summons Lauderen. No need for formalities. How's the mission I assigned you going? As you instructed. I nailed the next Saint's capture music. I knew it. I knew you had it in you. In just about 3 weeks, Lauderen has successfully taken down the Holy Empire's elected Saint test. Impressive work. Hermes pats Lauderen on the head. But right now, the door bursts open. Commander, urgent news. The kitchen crew reported a mishap while gathering ingredients. Doesn't that happen daily? What's the big deal? Hermes narrows her eyes. But apparently the casualties this time are severe. They ran into the Tusk Queen. Most of the kitchen team, including head chef Culkin, are either gone or unaccounted for. Hermes thinks for a moment. What about Il? He's also missing. Hearing this, Laudren's heart drops stunned. Il is missing too. Meanwhile, in the cave, Culkin and the staff are lost in the bliss of devouring eggs. Il lets out a heavy sigh, then slams a book hard against Kaikon. The shock jolts him awake instantly. What the heck? You must be under some curse. So I thought this would wake you up. Il fabricates a reason on the fly. Honestly, he just can't stand seeing Culkin so down. The book in his grasp is the Beast Encyclopedia Il swapped for 50 hero points. It includes details on nearly all demon beasts, Terrace included. Music, states, they are spider-type demon beasts, social critters with well-developed leg muscles. To take down a Terrace, hit their weaker spots like the torso and head. Their bodily fluids are super flammable. Their eggs are filled with a volatile liquid. Caves infused with Terrace saliva are pretty weak against fire, so avoid fire magic inside. After skimming through Terrace's vulnerabilities, Il shuts the book. Kulin, can you use fire magic? Khan shifts his gaze, a bit like launching fireballs. He sighs in defeat. Forget it. My flames can't burn through terrace shells. Il rolls his eyes. The plan isn't to incinerate the terrace anyway. Alright everyone, listen up. I've got an escape strategy. A goblin chef sighs. Useless fight. Better off just chillin' and devouring eggs. Despite the chaos, Il won't back down and keeps rallying them. If we manage to escape, not only will there be terrace eggs to feast on, but I'll also serve up unlimited deluxe grilled meat. The thought of that delicious grilled meat reignites everyone's interest. Music, let's kick this off. Even Culkin immediately calls out to Il, drooling. What's the plan? Moments later, he lays out his scheme. All we need to do is keep sprinting towards the exit. No stopping, no matter what happens. Let's move. As he finishes his sentence, Il charges forward with everyone hot on his heels. But tragically, they hardly run a length before encountering a swarm of adult terrorists. Culkin, be ready. Il clutches 2 eggs tightly, then hurls them at the wall next to them. Culkin unleashes fire magic simultaneously. The moment the terrace egg fluid hits the flames, a massive explosion. Music erupts. The shockwave nearly obliterates the entire cave. To protect the remaining eggs, the adult terrors reluctantly abandon their chase of Il to extinguish the flames first. While they're sidetracked, it's time to dash. A thunderous explosion, music erupts. The shockwave nearly obliterates the entire cavern. To safeguard the remaining eggs, the adult terror must abandon the hunt for Il and prioritize extinguishing the flames. While they're preoccupied, make your move fast. Music. While everyone keeps sprinting, the intricate landscape complicates their escape. Only 1 egg remains. We need to find the exit before it's gone, Il yells. Rachel suddenly spots a glimmer in the distance. Look, there's light over there. That's the exit. Dodging aggressive strikes from the adult terrace, Il bolts toward that direction. They inch closer and closer to the light. We're nearly there. But just as they are about to reach the exit, Il freezes in disbelief as the gigantic terrace queen stands before them. Music. She completely blocks the cave's entrance. We're toast. The Taurus queen has shown up. Her face is filled with rage, but she hesitates to attack. Il suspects it has something to do with the egg he's holding. With terraces having fiercely protective maternal instincts, Il acts without a second thought. He rips off a large chunk of fabric from his sleeve and has Kulkan set it ablaze. Then he holds both items high. If this egg detonates, we're all dead. However, also the cave will cave in and your young ones will be buried with us, Il shouts. If you don't music want that, then step aside and let us pass. The Taurus queen erupts in fury at this. She's ready to crush Il right then and there, but her instinct to protect her young halts her. Not only does she refuse to retreat, but she unleashes a deafening shriek that reverberates through the skies. With no options left, Il ignites the terrace egg. Then he hurls it harshly into the cave. The terrace music egg explodes the moment it strikes the wall. The entire cave shakes violently. No way it's about to collapse. Watching large boulders continuously tumble from above, Il instantly realizes the cave is on the verge of caving in. Everyone get outside. With that, Il bolts toward the cave exit. However, just after fleeing, he halts abruptly because at this moment, he can actually hear the sound of his own level increasing. Rachel looks puzzled and tries to pull him outside, but she can't budge him at all. As the cave continues to crumble, level up alerts keep ringing out one after another. Il is utterly flabbergasted. It seems all the terraces that met their end here are granting me their experience points. Could it be linked to my caving in the tunnel? Not daring to waste any more time, Il rushes outside. Getting past the Terrace Queen's blockade isn't easy, but he's left with no choice. Luckily, at this moment, Culkin pulls out a prized terrace egg from his stash. He hesitates, gazing at it. I'll use this egg to carve us a path out. But as soon as he finishes, the Taurus Queen launches her attack. Without a moment's hesitation, Il slides right beneath the Queen, narrowly escaping. But just when he thinks he's free, the Terrace Queen spits spider silk, ensnaring Il's arm. This isn't good. I'm finished. Yet in that moment, a deep crimson figure blocks his way. It's Lauderen. You okay? Il stares in disbelief, questioning why Lauderen is here. I knew you were alive. Lauderen smirks. From now, music on, I'll take the reins here. As he declares this, a fearsome power radiates from his body, shattering the Taurus Queen. This surprising scene leaves Il utterly speechless. Wow, he's unbelievably strong. The outcome of this hunt was that 99 chefs went missing or perished, including head chef Culkin. Once the clash wraps up, Il makes his way back to Popo's room. Thank heavens for that bullhead or we'd be history. Rachel exhales with relief after barely dodging death. But soon Il hits her with a harsh dose of reality. Savor the moment while you can. Music, we're on the edge of disaster. My showdown with Culkin is about to kick off. Rachel disagrees. Haven't you come a long way already? You've racked up a whopping 75 levels thanks to this cave collapse. Now Il's up to level 200. But he barely packs 30,500 battle power, while his enemy boasts a full 6,000. But Il has pondered this over. Winning isn't just about raw power. His practice match with Gorbechum proved that perfectly. Rachel nods, seeing his point. Exactly. Music combat isn't solely about brute force. It also involves magic. To triumph over someone of that caliber, you've got to learn the ropes of magic. Too bad Il doesn't have a clue how to wield it. That's easy for you to say, Rachel retorts, her tone shifting. You appear to have some magic skills from back at the Taurus hatchery. Il feels bewildered by her words. Did I really use magic? Was it back then? As he drifts into contemplation, Lauderen swings the door open, giving Il a jolt. Sir, what brings you to our little space? Lauderen clarifies his intentions. He's here to escort Il to see Commander Hermes. Under Lauderen's watch, they swiftly make their way to Hermes' office. What's with the unexpected visit, Lauderen? You don't usually drop by unannounced. Cutting through the small talk, Lauderen dives straight in. Commander, I want to personally train Il. Ken may lead a platoon, but I've just realized his strength actually suits him better as deputy battalion commander. Thus, Lauderen believes this battle is incredibly lopsided for Il. Let me hone Il's skills. I can unleash his full potential. Il is utterly flabbergasted. Why is he doing this? Then he silently hopes Hermes won't go along with it. But out of the blue, Hermes agrees without a second thought. Thank you, sir. If you're done music here, then please leave. I still have business to attend to. With no option left, Il has no way to refuse. Thank you very much. My esteemed commander, we'll be on our way. Once they exit, Hermes smirks, having realized that in just a few days, Il's strength has actually shot up. It's quite fascinating how quickly a human can evolve. However, this also raises some concerns for me. If Lauderen aids him, Culkin might genuinely lose. I cannot allow that under any circumstance. Hermes already has a flawless strategy in mind. Meanwhile, Lauderen and Il rush to the training area. Welcome to my private training ground. Il is taken aback. Hermes actually allocated him this exclusive space. She must hold him in high regard. Lauderen pauses and fixes a penetrating gaze on Il. He realizes that Il possesses immense magical power but hasn't tapped into it yet. Il feels uncomfortable under Lauderen's scrutiny. It's best to start with the basics, but the duel looms in just 4 days. We're short on time. Lauderen abruptly spins around and tightens his fist. He resolves to push Il beyond his limits to unlock his potential. Pain is a pathway to growth. Il barely registers the moment before Lauderen's heavy punch connects. What is this guy thinking? Has he lost it? Didn't he promise to train me? Why is he suddenly throwing punches? Without a moment's pause, Lauderen tightens his fist once more and moves in closer. Put all your energy into blocking, or you're definitely toast, he warned. Il lifts his arms to shield himself, but the opponent's overwhelming strength propels him backwards several meters. Oddly, his physical power isn't remarkable, but his speed and instincts are impressive. His mental fortitude is extraordinary. Lauderen suspects that when they first crossed paths, Il's failure to dodge that kick wasn't just luck. This guy has an abundance of combat know-how. Lauderen speeds toward Il. That wager you made with Commander Hermes, without mana, you can't possibly take down Culkin. Better to fall here than to humiliate yourself in front of everyone. Lauderen's fierce blow sends Il soaring. He's not kidding. One more hit like that might really end me. Lauderen tightens his fist, gearing up for another heavy strike. He believes Il can tap into his mana. Darn it. Here we go. I refuse to die. I haven't even tied the knot in this new world yet. Il also tightens his fist and lunges at Lauderen. Suddenly, a vivid blue mana starts to swirl around his hand. Their strikes collide at the same time. The clash of mana creates an enormous shockwave that rattles the ground. After the impact, Il crashes down utterly spent. Lauderen approaches him. Did you see that? You just accessed your mana. Despite his condition, Il manages a thumbs up, attempting to flatter him. That's because you trained me well, sir. Lauderen clasps his hand. Well done. If you keep this pace, you've definitely got a shot at victory. Lauderen starts to mend Il's injuries, but just as he channels his magic into Il's eyes widen in horror. He's gripped by severe pain in that moment. Damn it. Il coughs up blood, gasping for air. This is bad. I forgot you're just human. Lauderen's eyes fill with dread. Dark magic is like a lethal toxin to humans. He immediately begins apologizing profusely while lifting Il. Only the Saint's test can save him now. The forces in this realm oppose each other. Dark magic nullifies regular magic. Magic negates holy power, and holy power in turn counters dark magic. Magic is for humans. Dark magic belongs to demons. Holy power is for those who venerate the divine. The most renowned is the Holy Gatlin Empire, known for hearing the voices of the gods. Within the empire, they choose the finest individuals to become saints. At the headquarters of the Demon Army's 3rd Legion, a human girl is trapped in a dark chamber. Her silver hair cascades down to her waist. With snow-white skin and silver eyes to match her hair, her exquisite features can take your breath away at a mere glance. Yet for some inexplicable reason, her eyes resemble lifeless fish, utterly devoid of vitality. Her name is Abelson Marriott, the next saint of the Gatlin Holy Empire, just recently kidnapped by Lauderen. She has been imprisoned here since. She hasn't prayed to God in many days. To be a saint, you must be capable of hearing the divine's voice. Although she can hear it, she hasn't sought God in this place. She realizes that it's pointless, no matter what. Just as Abelson is lost in her thoughts, the door to her cell swings open. It's the Crimson Nightmare Lauderen. He's panting heavily, clearly having rushed over in a panic. Abelson notices his worried expression and feels perplexed. The normally cold and ruthless Red Nightmare Lauderen, showing no emotions, is acting strangely. What's going on? You have to save this human, Lauderen shouts in desperation. Il has already lost consciousness. His head feels ready to explode. Il slowly remembers the last moments. He recalls getting knocked down by Lauderen and hitting the ground. Damn it, am I actually dying while clutching a guy's hand? Il feels a surge of refusal. No way, he should at least die holding a woman's hand. Even Rachel would suffice. As music. He's lost in thought. Il suddenly feels a warm energy. He cautiously opens his eyes and sees a goddess standing before him. She has silver hair and silver eyes. The goddess displays a blank expression, remaining silent. I must have already kicked the bucket and returned to that place. Gearing up for rebirth. Il is convinced of this notion. Goddess, I will never forgive you and will drag Rachel down with me. You're just a demon pretending to be a goddess. If you want to turn me into a hero once more, you better marry me first. The saint listens, a touch of sorrow appearing on her face. How tragic. Did you truly die alone in both lives? Before Il can relish the sweet sound of Saint Tessa's voice, Lauderen barges in. You're finally awake. He pulls Il into a tight embrace, tears welling in his eyes. The immense weight feels like it's going to crush Il's body. At this rate, I'm going to die yet again. Lauderen quickly lets go of Il. After a moment of surprise, Il holds his breath and scans the room. The goddess is still there. Could she possibly be a real person instead of a goddess? Oh no, what did I just say to her? Has he really come back completely? Lauderen urgently inquires about the saint. Abelson shakes her head. That's not certain yet. As you detected, the dark magic hasn't fully vanished from his body. I can't predict the outcome. Lauderen stands there stunned for a few moments. Music. Not even your holy power can wipe it away. This may just be temporary. Eventually, the dark magic might fade naturally, so let's keep an eye on the situation. Abelson speaks with a steady voice. I'm sorry. I'll discover a way to make it up to you through training. Lauderen hugs Il tightly. No, sir. You don't need to treat someone like me this way. Before Il can finish, Lauderen lifts him out of the room. The saint left behind looks bewildered. That demon is really training a human. Who exactly is he? Exiting the saint's room, Il declines training, claiming he needs to feed Popo. Thanks for helping me dodge that, Popo. I heard you already devoured a soldier who came to feed you. So you shouldn't be hungry again today, right? Although Il doesn't have to dread Lauderen's wrath during training anymore, the dark magic still lingers within him. This shouldn't pose a huge problem, right? It won't kill me. Il says this while gazing at Rachel. He notices her sitting on the floor, tears glistening in her eyes because she overheard everything Il said to Abelson, clearly from the side. She never imagined her hero would wish her to go to hell. Yes, this is all my doing. The dark magic infecting your body and you almost music dying. It's all because of me. I'm the goddess in a demon's disguise. I deserve eternal suffering in hell. Il suddenly realizes his words may have been a bit too harsh. He steps over to console Rachel. It's okay. It's okay. Rachel, just chill. I can't function without you, my muscle machine. Zip it. I don't want to hear your chatter. Time zips to the following day. Il shows up at Lauderen's private training ground as usual, only to get wrecked again. Naturally, the saint's Abelson steps up as Il's go-to healer. Thanks for patching me up. Before tomorrow's showdown, I need to ask you something. Il scratches his head awkwardly. Can you pray that I don't bite the dust? Plus, if it's cool, I'd love for you to catch the duel tomorrow. In the blink of an eye, duel day has arrived. After all that grueling training, Il's body is screaming in pain, but his mindset is serene. In other words, he's leveled up. However, the crowd isn't too optimistic about him, since humans are inherently weaker than demons. Music. Lauderen, who do you think's taking this? Hermes asks from the stands. Il. He's got insane talent and has gone through tough training. Lauderen says, without hesitation. Want to make a wager? If you win, I'll let you keep training him. Hermes isn't a fan of Il. If you lose, I want you to take him out yourself. You said you believe in him, so you better stand by your words. Got it. Lauderen agrees, his stomach churning with nerves. I can win. Il bows his head, knowing under Lauderen's guidance he's mastered a whole new skill, the Lauderen combat technique. It's a dynamic martial art mixing 10 boxing styles revamped from the traditions of Lauderen's lineage. It aims for sheer dominance to overpower foes, though he's still working on it. Il's physical strength has significantly ramped up thanks to training. I have to win. Music, because the silver-haired Saint Tess is watching. Just as Il's mind wanders, his opponent, the beastman Music, Culkin, makes his grand entrance. His demonic presence has spiked dramatically in no time. This aura is unmistakably similar to Hermes's. At Music, this moment, Lauderen spots the demonic energy and stands up anxious. You can't bail out. Get it? Hermes grins. Soon enough, this duel is officially underway. Black mist spills from Culkin like a raging storm. His voice, laced with magic, resonates across the field. Right now, Music, his battle power is a staggering 10,573. What the heck? How did he boost so much in just a few days? Il is completely boggled. Unbeknownst to him, this is all thanks to Hermes. I won't back down. Il clenches his fist and bolts toward Culkin. But just as he nears his opponent, Culkin swings his colossal iron club, smashing forward with mind-blowing force, splitting the ground beneath. Il twists his body to dodge, then counters from a different angle. His fist crashes into Culkin's face, but that definitely isn't enough to end it. Il follows up with another strike. What he didn't foresee is that despite the brutal hit, Culkin doesn't even budge. Culkin retaliates with his iron club, nearly connecting with Il's left arm. After evading the attack, Il looks up at Culkin. Aside from a smear of blood, he doesn't appear to be hurt at all. Before Il can second-guess himself, Culkin lunges at lightning speed. Music, but Il sees all of it coming. Thanks to Laudren's training, he easily anticipates his opponent's moves. Stay calm. Il recalls his lessons. The essence of battle lies in blending combat skills with mana. This combination can massively heighten the deadly impact of your strikes. Fighting isn't solely about brute strength, more crucially, music. It's about having the prowess to finish off your opponent. Lauderen explained that Il can utilize the techniques he learned since he has no intention of killing, so such strikes lack significance. I get it now. Strike to eliminate. Il tightens his fist. A vivid blue light radiates from his hand. No matter who stands in my way, I will take them down. Il's mana-infused combat technique crashes directly into Culkin's abdomen. A tremendous shockwave erupts, music slicing through him, even shaking the ground beneath. Once the smoke disperses, Culkin, now visible, shows a colossal hole through his heart as Il stands victorious. Today, it's the weak human Il who prevails. Hearing the announcer call out the results, Il weakly collapses to the ground. That strike drained nearly all his mana. I did it. I went straight through his heart. But just as everyone thinks it's settled, web-like substances begin oozing from Culkin's wound, gradually mending the massive hole in his body. This bizarre, twisted ability looks beyond what a creature like Culkin should possess. He's not dead, even with his heart obliterated. How can that be? It's definitely Hermes' doing. Il slowly starts to piece it together. He cursed Culkin with dark magic for immortality. Lauderen sweats for Il as Hermes wears a smug grin. He's mastered this martial art in such little time. His talent is astonishing, but I foresaw this. Within mere seconds, Culkin rises to his feet again. What the heck? A curse? Rachel is baffled. But if it is a curse, this predicament won't last long. Culkin charges forward, saliva dripping from his mouth. Il watches his opponent's movements, noting they're just as predictable. These attacks are too simple to evade. But just as he prepares to dodge, his legs suddenly betray him at that critical instant. Unable to evade in time, Il is rammed into the wall like a cannonball by Culkin. Il desperately grabs his arm, twisting it with all his strength. Yet even after hearing bones snap, Culkin behaves as if he feels nothing. He hurls Il away with such force that he momentarily loses consciousness. Damn music, I can sense fractures in large areas of my body. Stand up. You've got this. From the audience, Abelson seldom speaks to Il. That's right, it isn't over yet. Revitalized, Il forces himself upright, swaying unsteadily. I absolutely cannot disgrace myself in front of the girl I invited. I haven't even taken her on a date. As Il speaks, an immense surge of mana erupts from his being. If my bones are shattered, I'll encase them with armor of mana. With the mana's enhancement, Il springs into action again. He leaps into the air, channeling all his mana into both hands. Il's strike crashes down on Culkin's head, almost shattering his skull. Yet even then, Culkin remains alive. A sinister black mist emanates from him once more. Il looks at Culkin with imperturbable composure. His mind is solely fixated on triumph today. Il raises his hand. This is my domain. Let's go. Muscle-bound brute. As Il talks, he delivers another heavy blow to Culkin's skull. Did you teach him that level of mana manipulation? Hermes questions Lauderen skeptically, but gets a negative reply. This instantly sends her into a tailspin of anxiety. Then we must tread carefully. He's a beast. When she utters that word, it weighs heavy like a commander leading an army. Even for her, apart from the Demon King, nobody can rival her authority. This duel is swiftly declared concluded. When Il regains consciousness, he finds himself back in Popo's chambers. How did the duel wrap up? Il missed the final outcome. All he recalls is that he was incapacitating Culkin. You emerged victorious, and then the saint has patched you up. Upon hearing Rachel's response, Il swiftly accesses his hero system. He realizes that post-battle he instantly leveled up by 12 and his abilities have significantly improved. He even gained a completely new skill known as mana control, music. Yet, even the seasoned goddess Rachel has never encountered this skill. It's understandable that you haven't encountered it. Il can't help but grumble. What do you mean? It's due to the rarity of this skill. Alright, it's not because I'm uninformed. While the two exchange banter, Il spots a small note lying beside him. Meanwhile, the Saintess who healed Il returns to her quarters. She gazes outside. Music. That guy is oddly unique. Mastering mana usage in just 3 days and grasping advanced combat techniques would take other knights at least a month. He possesses immense potential. Abelson rubs her hands together. A few days ago, she prayed to the heavens. Perhaps this is divine acknowledgement for me. Or maybe it's Il's inherent skill. But that distinction doesn't matter anymore. He triumphed in this duel regardless. Perhaps he's the one I've been searching for. Abelson states as she steps towards the door. Then she knocks. Saintess, what is it? Abelson presses her lips together. I want to request a favor. I wish to take a stroll. Meanwhile, in Popo's room, Il unfolds the note. It's actually from the Saintess. She's inviting me to walk with her in the back garden. Il trembles with exhilaration. Without a second thought, he rushes to the designated spot. Should I ask for her contact details first, or should we swap letters? Coming out this late makes Rachel quite irritable. Don't be foolish. She's playing games with you. We should head back. But as soon as her words hit his ears, Il anxiously grips her, having sensed a movement nearby. Turning around, he finds it's Abelson, accompanied by 2 minotaurs. This leaves Il rather displeased. He thought he was about to have a private rendezvous with Saintess. These are my guardians. I can't roam freely. After hearing Abson's clarification, Il learns that the Saint Tess has been confined by the demon army. Let's stroll first. Under the watchful eyes of the Minotaurs, Il feels too anxious to utter a word. You're a hero, right, Abson? Music glances back. Il is momentarily taken aback but ultimately nods. How did you figure that out? In our world, only demons or heroes sport black hair. Your skills in the duel yesterday were commendable, so I'm confident you're a hero. Il feels bashful from the compliment and chuckles awkwardly. May I ask you something too? What you perceive of me as a person is greater than music. A look of utter bewilderment spreads across Abelson's face. This emotional shift is truly uncommon for her. What on earth is this guy rambling about? Just when the tension peaks, Lauderen's voice cuts through from afar. His presence shatters the uncomfortable silence. Oh, you're here. The Legion commander wants to speak with you. This is absolutely unexpected. The carefully arranged meeting Il worked so hard for is abruptly called off. Just like that, Lauderen escorts him to Hermes' office. Well done. Hermes reclines confidently on the desk, gazing at Il. I've been watching this duel closely. Your recent accomplishments are quite notable. Hermes snaps her fingers. Do you recall my earlier proposal? Il nods quickly. Yes, you mentioned I should duel the opponents you choose in return for your protection during that time. Exactly. Hermes presses on. You had said I should become a demon officer and serve here. Hermes nods approvingly. Now I reveal that was merely music, a pretext. I doubted how long you would last, but now my perspective has shifted. She gestures toward Lauderen. You insisted he would make a fantastic demon officer. So this time I propose we switch things up, skipping music dueling. As Hermes descends from the desk, she moves closer. You see, our unit operates an independent cooking company. Recently, the cooking unit faced severe losses, leaving the music staff unable to have proper meals. Therefore, starting today, you will take charge of this unit. I will grant you the power to recruit cooking soldiers as you deem necessary. Can you handle it? Il realizes he has no choice. Count on me. Congratulations on your new role. You're now a company commander, Rachel jibes. A human hero transformed into a demon soldier officer. Are you thrilled now? Yes, it's an incredible feeling. Il doesn't baby her. They trade jabs as they arrive at the Legion kitchen, but the moment Il swings the door open, he is met with the sounds of greedy munching coming from within. Glancing down, he spots a cooking soldier devouring food with gusto. The soldier spots Il. Oh, it's that barbecue slave. Slave Il instantly sees at this disparaging label. He shifts his heavy foot. Listen up, you're mistaken. Starting today, music, I'm the head chef's supervisor. With that, Il fiercely kicks him in the face. After venting his frustration, Il gathers all the soldiers in the kitchen. The battle power of those present is generally around 2,000, with the strongest hitting 30,500, taking them in. Music Il's mind races with a pressing question. Why are there so few kitchen soldiers present? Shouldn't there be 300 to 500? Now there aren't even 30. Yet Il knows he mustn't defy Hermes' orders or it'll be curtains for him. Il feigns confidence. Does anyone here know who I am? A little one raises his hand. He's a tasty human. The moment he speaks, Il angrily kicks him into the wall. That's right. I'm a tasty human, you dimwit. Il brandishes the appointment letter Hermes handed him. The commander has appointed me as the head supervisor of the kitchen unit. Henceforth, you shall treat me like royalty. Now can anyone explain why there are so few of you here now? A soldier raises his hand. They all went hunting and fell victim to magical beasts. Learning this, Il remains surprisingly composed, understanding that the top chef Kulkin was already lost in battle against the Terra's queen. It's no surprise these leftover misfits can't handle wild monsters. Who's the strongest among you now? It's Gurumu. Everyone immediately points to the guy I just pummeled earlier because his battle strength is incredible. Il appoints him as the deputy kitchen manager. Alright, you're free to go if there's nothing more. Il sits alone in the corner. He believes the kitchen needs at least 200 crew members, so there's only one way to make it happen. The next morning at dawn, Il leaves the barracks with Popo. He already has a solid plan in mind for gathering soldiers using Popo to scare off potential resistance. Music. Either join the kitchen crew or prepare to be a meal for Popo. Let's kick things off. Il lands a solid kick on a soldier's face. With a power level of only 1,931, this one seems easy enough. Hey little mole, care to join our kitchen crew? What mole? The soldier looks around, pointing to himself. Yeah, mole, I'm talking about you. Il lands another harsh kick. The mole guy plops down looking hurt. Why music? Why? You attack me without even waiting for my response. You're the first recruit of the day. Do you know what that means? Il glares. It means you'll rank higher than those who join later. You can misuse your power or pass the blame to someone else. Pass the blame, music. The mole guy looks puzzled. With his limited brain power, he can't see far ahead. Yes, go fetch all your buddies. For every 10 recruits, I'll hook you up with one subordinate. Il's plan seems flawless. He might soon have a full regiment on his hands. But what he doesn't realize is that the mole guy is a soldier from the independent battalion. This news quickly reaches the ears of the battalion commander, the demon Doris. Commander, music, we have a situation. Our battalion is thin on soldiers. What's going on? Doris elegantly picks up a handkerchief. Did they desert? Are the soldiers leaving in droves? He doesn't believe he's been cruel enough to drive them away. They didn't desert. They've all been drafted as cooks. I see. Doris exhales, leaning back in his chair. Recruiting kitchen soldiers is standard fare. I'll let this slide this time. Just instruct them to be more cautious next time. Doris can't be bothered with this issue. No, we need to take this seriously. The soldier cries out, tears welling up. He's already taken 200 of our soldiers. Hearing that number, the composed Doris immediately panics. Meanwhile, Il keeps on gathering kitchen soldiers. We've now got more than 200 cooks. Should we wrap up recruitment? The moment he says this, he feels something off. A glance sideways reveals a terrifying sight. Didn't I tell them to bring one comrade? Why on earth did this guy bring a pig? Something's not right. Il checks with the power gauge and freezes in shock. This is it. I can't measure it. This guy's power level is over 50,000. Let's just quietly pack up and escape. But Il barely takes 2 steps before Doris calls out, forcing him to turn back with a forced smile. Yes, sir. What brings you here? Doris reveals himself as the commander of the 3rd Legion's independent battalion, and starts to question Il. What's the deal here? Don't you know? What's going on in your mind? He points at the soldiers Il just gathered. Why did you take half my battalion's members? Il is taken aback. He never imagined these recruits came from the same battalion. Let me explain, sir. Damn. No wonder things went so smoothly. Just a few moments later, Doris escorts Il into the office. Are you really saying this wasn't on purpose? Il quickly nods and begins to butter him up. Absolutely, sir. I only picked the bravest soldiers. But coincidentally, they're all from your battalion. Upon hearing this music, Doris feels a rush of excitement inside. Commander Hermes has taken a liking to this guy, so I shouldn't blow this out of proportion. With that thought, he instantly flashes a smile. Since this is how you choose, we'll have to go along with it. Is this truly acceptable? Il is ecstatic, yet deep down he senses it won't be easy. As expected, just a moment later, Doris' music speaks up. However, I do have one stipulation. We need one more soldier from our battalion and we'll be all set. Il fears Doris is trying to offload some useless idiot onto him. What's your hesitation? Noticing Il's hesitation, Doris's dark intent starts to surface. I'm just thrilled, you know. Il bolts out of the office without glancing back. Just have them introduced to me later. Soon after, Il re-enters his office, and suddenly the door swings wide open. A massive giant strides in. His name is Azulu, a mix of ogre and half-orc. Il gazes up and senses the opponent's overwhelming power. This dude seems dull, but he's immensely strong. I really need to utilize music him wisely. The following day, Il calls all the kitchen soldiers again. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I am the keeper of Popo and the head chef. Next, Il lays out his plan to revamp the department. He creates a roster and has them align according to their roles. Il realizes while these beastmen share similar intelligence, their strength levels vary wildly, so he sorts them based on power level, assigning the weaker ones to kitchen tasks while taking the stronger ones for hunting. Moments later, they form 2 lines as requested by Il. On the right is the cooking team. On the left is the combat team. No objections, right? But as soon as Il wraps up his statement, one soldier raises his hand. I object. Music. I want to hunt as well. I crave fresh meat. The one speaking is a remarkably diminutive beastman. Il chuckles awkwardly, then beckons him closer. Come here. The lanky soldier, puzzled, cautiously approaches. Then Il delivers a sharp kick, sending him soaring. You've got to ace my test first. Clearly, you didn't pass. After Il does this, the hero system generates a notification. With exceptional leadership, you have effectively organized and stabilized the troops. Your hidden attribute charisma has increased. Music, command skill level heightened. Il's eyes go wide. This is an entirely unexpected bonus. Anyone else got doubts? Il raises his fist. If not, music combat team, grab your weapons and let's roll out time for the hunt. Under Il's direction, the combat squad arrives at the northern woods, but surprisingly, not a single beast is in sight. Could it be that Papo or Zulu's strength scares them off? Rachel proposes. Il agrees, but these two are the elite fighters of the combat squad. He can't afford to leave them out. Just then, music. Rachel snaps her fingers as if struck by an idea. She turns to Il with a mischievous grin. Then let's use them as bait. Goodness, this girl truly has a devilish streak. Il circles around and picks 5 soldiers to serve as bait. Lottery numbers he brought back from Earth, with tears welling up. Il instructs Izulu to toss out the soldiers with the drawn numbers. Number 14. Execute intercontinental ballistic missile launch. Il instructs Izulu to discard the soldiers as their numbers are announced. Number 14. Initiate intercontinental ballistic missile launch. Using the weak as bait should definitely draw on the prey, right? Il claims he won't forget to have his men light torches pretending to care. This way, the bait soldiers can spot the smoke and come back, tossing them out like that. Are you sure they'll return alive? Rachel's face radiates skepticism. Naturally, Il smirks deviously. At least one of the 6 will return, including Azulu. Everyone nearby thinks Il has lost his mind. We're doomed if we go. But just as they contemplate running away, they turn to find Popo, who got the order, already lurking behind them. Although looking troubled, Il is actually composed inside. Either you follow my orders or you can play in Popo's belly. Unsurprisingly, the unfortunate soldiers all opt for the first choice. After all, facing potential death beats certain doom. Just as expected, after a while, the bait soldiers return with several beasts in tow. let the soldiers take care of them. I just need the finishing blow before Il even finishes his sentence. As Olu bellows and charges ahead, he swings his weapon and unleashes a ruthless strike. What kind of power is this? Il is stunned. With a single hit, Azulu utterly demolishes the massive beast. Popo joins in swiftly finishing them off too. How am I supposed to deal with this? Not only did I miss the final hit, but the beast's meat is smashed to bits. When we come back tomorrow, I'm definitely leaving these two behind. I'm out. Catch you all tomorrow. Soon after returning to his quarters, Il makes his way to the kitchen. After stewing in his emotions, he angrily kicks the door open. Are you slacking off again? Is the food ready? The deputy head chef rushes over. We're on it, but today's meat is a little. Il's expression grows grim. A craftsman never whines about his tools. Yes, sir. I'll get it sorted. Even though he says this, Il knows very well that with these cooks' skill levels, even stray dogs would turn their noses up. But it's alright. Il has already devised a plan. Regular soldiers will eat whatever the cooks whip up. Only battalion commanders and higher get to enjoy his cooking. This perfectly addresses the production issue, while also currying favor with the high-ranking officers. After finishing the roast, Il swiftly seeks out Abelson for her aid in that duel. He wants to show his gratitude with a sumptuous roast. Thank you, I only need a little. Abelson spears a piece of roast and savory meat aromas fill the air. The scent is far better than she anticipated. After tasting it, Abelson is completely blown away. This is the most delicious food she's had in the Demon Lord's Black Castle. So good. Shortly after, Abelson finishes every last bite of the roast. Then, Il picks up the plate to leave, but just then, Abelson asks him if he has any desires after leaving the Demon Lord's castle, like settling down and having a family. Il blurted it out, but Abelson freezes at this. She always thought a hero would seek greater ambitions. I see. You may leave. It doesn't have to be the village chief's daughter. Il shyly hooks his finger. Then he inquires Abelson the same question. Me? I don't want to do anything. After a long pause, she calmly states this. Meanwhile, in the Gatlin Empire, a subordinate rushes in with distress. They have discovered St. Tess Abelson's location. She's locked away in the Black Castle. Terrified of the insatiable beast Hermes, the Empire hesitates to send their troops recklessly. Music. In the span of human history, the Black Castle has fallen only 3 times, and each instance was due to Hermes' absence. After contemplating for a moment, the Pope devises an impeccable plan: call upon our heroes, dispatching them as an undercover rescue team. The following day, Il gathers troops bright and early for the hunt. Yet Abelson's words echo in his mind. I don't want to do anything. Why would he think like that? With this question looming, Il initiates today's hunt, venturing deeper into the woods. He signals the team to halt, then instructs all squad leaders to come forward. 10 leaders. A total of 10 souls. They nervously assess Il's demeanor. What's on his agenda today? Luckily, Azulu isn't around, so he likely won't pull that outrageous stunt of tossing soldiers into the wilderness. Surprisingly, Il shows generosity, pulling large portions of seasoned roast from his backpack. Everyone take a bite. Why are you just standing there? I'm telling you to eat. If you don't, you'll be a snack for Papo. We're music eating. The squad leaders tearfully shove meat into their mouths. These robust men devour fist-sized pieces in under a minute. Head chef, what is this? It's heavenly tears well up in the squad leader's eyes, trailing down. We truly made the right choice joining the kitchen team. The head chef is amazing. We'll absolutely give our all from now on. We need another piece. The squad leaders shout with excitement, flushed faces, but Il lifts his index finger and gently waves. The gourmet treat is done. Now let the challenge begin. Go capture beasts alive. The squad with the highest catch will dine with me today. Still lounging around, run as Il's words fade. A life or death hunt for meat begins, craving that delicious roast once more. The squad leaders all charge ahead. Every creature is ruled by their cravings. During today's music hunt, Il skyrockets his level to 224. Head chef, which squad emerged victorious today? Il turns around and declares the Wild Wolf squad as this hunt's winners. They will enjoy the roast, while the others will have to seek better fortune next time. Meanwhile, music. Inside the Black Castle, numerous demon soldiers lie in bloody pools. All met their end at the hands of one individual. Moments later, music. That individual arrives at the chamber where St. Abelson is held captive, then reveals his face. St. Abelson, I've come to save you. The figure is the rescue team dispatched by the Pope, a hidden hero of the Holy Empire. Osel Geffen. Unexpectedly, after stating his music intention, Abelson turns him down simultaneously, insisting he depart. Geffen scratches his head, grinning, and approaches Abelson, professing that this is his mission and he will see it through. But surprisingly, Abelson continues to refuse, citing Hermes the voracious eater. If you don't leave, I'll use holy power to alert her. But before she finishes, Geffen's heavy fist crashes into Abelson's abdomen. Sleep tight. When you wake up, you'll be back in the Empire. Abelson is firmly restrained, overwhelming dizziness slowly creeping in. How can he wield holy power? No, I must not go back to that place. Just as Abelson nears unconsciousness, a fist the size of a sandbag brutally strikes Geffen's face. Get your filthy hands off her, you jerk. It's absurd. This blow utilizes almost all his power, yet Geffen stands unfazed. A guy exuding dark magic. Fascinating, yet you seem more human on the surface, Geffen taunts. Cool. Music. moves, but your magical energy falls short. Before he finishes, Il charges again, a tempest of music. Forceful magic. His agility far surpasses what Geffen anticipated. This piques Geffen's interest in Il, eager to recruit him back to the Empire too. Geffen deflects the blow and retaliates. The overwhelming force causes blood to erupt from Il's mouth, rendering him unconscious instantly. Did he pass away? Perhaps the sudden fury pushed Geffen's strength beyond control. Rachel, hiding nearby, gasps at the sight. He took down my hero in a single hit. I should probably call Papo. After confirming Il's still alive, Geffen retrieves a scroll from his pocket. This high-tier holy magic scroll was kept just in case. But at that moment, a commanding female voice echoes from behind. What's going on here? Need some assistance. It's Hermes. I didn't even sense her approach. Geffen suppresses his surprise and quickly turns. The insatiable eater Hermes. That title isn't very flattering. Maybe gourmet suits me better. Hermes quips with a grin. In stark contrast to Hermes' demeanor, cold sweat, music drips down Geffen's back. Can I succeed? The Pope had consistently warned against provoking the voracious eater. Geffen had dismissed it, but confronted with her presence, he finally grasps why the Pope was adamant. There's no trace of demonic energy. Even up close, he can't perceive Hermes' essence. That's a bad omen. It signals a vast gap in power between them. Yet Geffen has outmatched numerous foes stronger than himself. He craves another challenge. In the blink of an eye, Hermes' daunting magical energy crashes down upon Geffen like a wild storm. Don't music lose your cool. Stay calm. He needs to focus and pinpoint the moment to escape with the Saint test. Then suddenly, music. A wave of dizziness hits him. His arm is gone. When did that even happen? Geffen freezes in shock. Come make this entertaining for me. Hermes opens her wide mouth, realizing he's utterly defeated. Forget escaping with the Saint test. Even surviving now seems uncertain. Acknowledging the mission's failure, he bites down and shatters the scroll in his mouth. In an instant, a radiant light flashes as the holy magic on the scroll sparks to life. Such potent holy energy would incinerate ordinary demons or beasts on contact. Yet Hermes, standing there, merely raises an eyebrow. Oh my, attempting to flee. Don't you want to play with me a bit longer? In the blink of an eye, Geffen disappears completely. His escape skills are impressive. Truly, Hermes allowed him to slip away. If she had truly desired to kill, she could have ended Geffen's life countless times in under a minute. Demons have roamed the continent for over 500 years. Countless demons have emerged and faded in cycles. However, just two demons stand apart, the Demon Lord and Hermes. They loom like unshakable mountains, steadfast. The Demon Lord rarely reveals himself to others, but the voracious eater Hermes is entirely music different. The ones put down this time are merely Eldrin's pawns. Ludrin's going to be furious. Time flies, music, and suddenly it's a brand new day. Il is about to dive into Ludrin's training yet again. Your combat techniques and spellcasting haven't changed. They're still too simplistic and straightforward. Your creativity is lacking, making your movements feel dull and stiff. Lauderen highlights Il's weaknesses but then shifts his tone. No matter how powerful you are, there's always someone who can outmatch you. So for winning, every tactic is fair game under Lauderen's guidance. Today's training officially wraps up. As soon as he steps out, Il collapses to the ground. Music. I'm dying. Seriously, someone rescue me. Thanks to the goddess Rachel's healing, Il starts to feel better. To you, I'm just a potion for healing, huh? But as Rachel complains, Il's mind is already miles away. I've got nothing to say to you. Get stronger, Il. Only with enough power can you defend your beliefs. Saint Tess Abelson declared, I need to grow stronger. Il's untimely words spark Rachel's jealousy anew. Are you still hung up on that girl? You nearly lost your life for her. You've disrespected Saint Tess. That could result in divine punishment. While they squabble, Rachel expresses her confusion. That blonde assassin clearly possesses holy energy. So why would he target a saint from his own faction? Il nods, fully agreeing. As the next saint, she has to be incredibly significant. Anyway, music, we can't keep discussing the saints. Why's that? Because you're into her. Il claps his hands over his ears. That's enough. Stop the jealousy, contrary to his stubborn pride now. Several minutes later, Il lies in his room, tears streaming down his face. Let my life end here. I don't want to be human in my next life. His actions leave Papo utterly baffled. Are you worried about that idiot? Seems like you started to see him as your master. To clear up Popo's confusion, Rachel recounts what went down 10 minutes prior. At that moment, Il was called to Hermes' office. I'm facing a serious issue. I'm bored. Hermes' words leave Il stunned. What does she want? Music. Now I want to see something thrilling. You've got 1 month. Go take down a battalion commander. Watching Il's troubled face, Hermes raises her finger, music, suggesting that if he doubts himself, she can assist him just like she did for Culkin. Not necessary at all. I'll fulfill your request perfectly. After explaining everything to Popo, Rachel doesn't forget to add bid farewell to him. Popo, you won't see him for a while. With that, she flies over to Il. Embrace your music destiny. With your power level of 9,000, do you really think you can defeat a battalion commander? I'm already in a pitiful state. I wouldn't mind dragging someone down with me, Il replies, reclining on the table. Those who rise to battalion commander usually boast power levels beyond 40,000. Glancing at Popo below, who has achieved immeasurable feats, Il's music sighs. If only you could battle in my stead. But this is likely going to be a duel format. Yes, that's right. Before finishing, a thought strikes Il. A duel? No way. Hermes didn't specify, it had to be a duel. After triple checking with Rachel, Il confirms Hermes didn't demand a duel. That means I can use whatever means necessary to win, ambush, team up, even bring Popo along or combine all three. Lure him out, then have Popo lead an ambush as we swarm him. Should I call you clever or just a coward? Draw him out, then have Popo set a trap and overwhelm him. Should I label you smart or just sneaky? Rachel shakes her head in response to Il's scheme. But now, a tricky situation arises. How do they lure the battalion commander out? Yet this dilemma isn't a hurdle for Il. He merely needs to select some ribs, mix in honey to attract the blood, then chop up some mushrooms. Naturally, seasonings and garlic are vital, and water-spitting fish serves as the garnish. Toss all these ingredients into the pot, simmer on low for 2 hours, then it burns. Blast it. But Il seizes the opportunity to salvage the untouched parts, finally topping it off with some scallions. Perfect. With this music delicacy, no battalion commander will be able to resist. At the camp across the way, peace-loving battalion commander Doris leisurely enjoys his meal as usual. Having sent the troublemaker Izulu packing, he's finally found true tranquility. But just then a subordinate interrupts head chef. Il requests to see you. Doris waves him off without a second thought, declaring returning Azulu impossible. But when faced with Doris's command, the soldier shakes his head. No, he says, Il is here to show gratitude. He wishes to personally prepare a meal for you. Upon hearing the word cook, Doris's eyes instantly widen. There's always been talk that Il's roast could even win over Hermes' palate. Music. So he quickly commands Il to enter, just after the soldier steps away. Il strides in with a grand plate, even holding a red rose in his mouth for flair. Lord Doris, it's been too long. This sight causes Doris's face to flush, his heart racing like a wild deer. But he soon realizes something's off and forces Music himself to regain composure. I hear you're here to show gratitude. Yes. Thanks to your help a month ago, I smoothly became head chef. Il places the plate before Doris. And to thank Lord Doris, I've meticulously crafted this dish. I hope it pleases you. Doris hardly hears Il's words, his gaze locked onto the dish before him. Wait, this aroma. Doris instantly snatches a large rib. The scent is irresistible. Gratitude or not, his curiosity about the meat's taste drives him to madness. Doris shoves the meat into his mouth and savors it slowly. Then, ugly sounds escape this pig's mouth. So delicious I can't handle it. Ah. A flash of lethal intent crosses Il's face, but it vanishes in an instant. Doris remains oblivious. This meat is truly exquisite, Doris says, his face flushed, seemingly finally embarrassed by his earlier actions. I'm pleased it fits your taste. Il forces a polite smile that could fool anyone into thinking he's genuinely pleased. Then I'll take my leave. Il suppresses his disgust, turns and opens the door. But the second he steps out of the room, Il hurls up everything he consumed this week. How can I put this music? The sight before me. Nothing short of revolting. Absolutely revolting. I feel the urge to eliminate this hog. And just like that, music. Il serves meals to Doris for an entire week, consistently shoveling in meat to turn him into a meat addict, then luring him out to the woods to finish the job. That was Il's plan from the start. Yet today, after tasting the food, Doris suddenly appears distressed and halts. Turns out tomorrow he's gearing up for a positional defense battle. If he flops, he'll be stripped of his battalion commander title. All of this is because I turned into this. That's why people disdain me. Doris glances at his bloated figure, smirking at himself, then wolfs down the meat in massive bites, while Il sinks into utter despair. It's over. If this pig gets taken down in the duel, my whole week's work goes to waste. And honestly, there's no way this pig can win that crucial battle. You should have kept yourself in check, you foolish pig. Il feels the urge to grab Doris by the collar and scream. Just then, Doris's voice pierces through his thoughts. If you, music, have some free time, I hope you come watch. You're my good luck charm. All right. Il nods, then quietly sends up a prayer in his mind. Please let the challenger be even worse than Doris. The next day, Il, with panda eyes from lack of sleep, wraps up his tasks and heads to the dueling arena. Look on the bright music side. Maybe that pig will suddenly transform into a super pig. But what kind of super pig weighs over 800 pounds? That's impossible. Il doubts even his own attempts at comfort. Inside the music arena, it takes Doris a full half-hour just to ascend the stairs to the platform. Yet spotting Il in the stands fills him with meaning. My lucky charm, you made it. His opponent, a massive muscular demon with a deer head. Clearly, Il's prayers backfired. Soon, at the referee's shout, the duel kicks off. Music. The deer-headed demon makes the first move, zipping forward at lightning speed, but halts abruptly upon striking Doris. To everyone's shock, Doris, who appears to struggle walking, has enough strength to overpower his opponent. He gets into position, then suddenly unleashes a force so fierce it obliterates the entire dueling arena. Even Il, music, sitting at a distance in the stands, feels the shockwave of the attack. Il is convinced this battle is wrapped up with the demon Doris emerging victorious. After the duel, Il retreats to his quarters. Having witnessed Doris's true power, he knows Popo alone can't take him down. So Il revamps his strategy. He must seek out stronger beings in the depths of the hunting forest to join forces against Doris, like the Taurus Queen for instance. Thanks to the hard work of the cooking soldiers, Il manages to grasp the dynamics of this area. His expression beams with pride. Hero, what's the plan? That's right, there's an old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. On the third day in the back mountain forest, Rachel covers her mouth close to throwing up at any moment. After 3 days of cramming the Beast Encyclopedia, her limited brain is overflowing with too much info. Before I lose it, let's move quickly. Hero nods and takes out a map. Their first target is 1 kilometer ahead. The cooking soldiers labeled it a monster named Simabe Bufi. Rachel quickly adds, in ancient music language, it means forest worm. There are also 2 other monsters that look similar, Mosby and Estanibia. But Rachel quickly dismisses those options because she believes their attack power isn't formidable, and they won't go after people actively. How about music that? Isn't this goddess gifted? Call me the beast expert. Il is taken aback. Yes. Yes. You're not only talented, but also very clever. With that said, empty-headed folks do catch on fast. Soon after, Il gathers all the kitchen soldiers. He scans the map closely, and one spot grabs his attention, marked music with steel-like scales resembling a dragon. But Rachel points out there are many dragon types, and those descriptions alone aren't enough to identify which one it is. Dragon-like form. But Rachel explains that dragons come in various types, and just these details won't define which kind it is. In Il's view, dragons should be the fiercest attackers around, so he decides to check it out himself. Upon reaching the dragon's realm, Il assigns today's task to the kitchen crew. We're clearing music, this joint. Move out, no need to trap them alive. Hunt and feast right here. Il's choice fires up the kitchen crew like never before. Whoa, the head chef finally snaps back to reality. We can feast on fresh meat until we're stuffed. Meat, I crave meat. Soon they butcher a ton of beasts right here. However, contrary to the kitchen crew's joy, Il seems uneasy at this moment. Why hasn't the beast lord shown up yet? Logically, with so many smaller ones down, the bigger one should have shown by now, right? So to avoid wasting a whole day, Il decides to push things along, instructing the kitchen soldiers to light fires and roast all these beasts on the spot. Sure enough, just as the barbecue kicks off, the ground starts to shake. At that moment, Il's eyes widen. Is it here? Though unsure of what it is, he senses something enormous, drawing near. Before long, a beast crashes through the vegetation and appears. Its eyes are blood red, towering at a terrifying 5 meters tall with a dragon-like head and covered in jet black scales. Il immediately activates his power gauge. Power is off the charts. Off the charts? Perfect. The power level is spot on. Rachel tells him this beast is named Nadri, whose combat strength matches a battalion commander. A massive dragon materialized. Run. The cooking crew scatters in terror. But Il grins at this moment. We can take down Doris. Everyone, I'll lead the charge. With that, Il takes off at full speed. Meanwhile, Lauderen is called to Hermes' office. What has Il been up to lately? Lauderen responds that he's just doing his usual chef duties. Hermes finds this out of character. Il has been far too peaceful as of late. Don't tell me, Lord, you taught him some secret technique again. No, we're just doing our standard training. Hermes then questions what the chances are of Il defeating a battalion commander, and Lauderen answers 0. Though Il's been calm lately, Lauderen has noticed something odd. I heard he's been getting quite cozy with Doris lately. You mean that porker Hermes looks bewildered? He claims he can defeat a battalion commander. Yet now he's getting all chummy. What could music be thinking? How intriguing. Let's watch closely. In the days that follow, Il keeps whipping up scrumptious dishes for Doris. This is absolutely mouth-watering. Thanks for the barbecue today. 2. After devouring 50 plates of barbecue, Doris belches softly. At that moment, Il purposefully sighs heavily. This odd behavior immediately piques Doris's interest. What's wrong? Did something go down? Il's eyes well up with tears. It's music. Nothing, it's just that something happened back at the kitchen. This might be the last meal I can bring you. The gravity of the situation makes Doris spring to his feet. What spill it? Il shakes his head, looking downcast. Commander Hermes has requested a taste of special beast meat. But this beast is too formidable. Even after days of combat, we still couldn't bring it down. The revelation shocks Doris. He can't fathom what beast is that powerful. A marble-patterned beast. What's that? I haven't heard of it either, but it totally makes sense that Doris is clueless because I just concocted it out of thin air. This is a matter of life and death. I wouldn't fabricate something like this. Seeing Il in trouble, Doris steps up and offers 200 soldiers without hesitation. But Il turns down the generous offer. He deems those soldiers too weak. No matter the number sent, they'd only end up wasting their lives. However, if our esteemed Lord Doris himself were to intervene, maybe this crisis could be averted. If you do, I'll make sure Commander Hermes hears about Lord Doris's valiant effort. Just the thought of the commander possibly admiring him after their victory has Doris pumped right up. Is it really going to happen? Seeing Doris hesitate, Il quickly promises he will absolutely inform the commander, which finally seals the deal. Alright then, I'll back you up. After all, we're music allies. Seriously, you're in? A genuine smile spreads across Il's face. Thank you, my lord. The next morning, Il leads a big army into the forest. Today marks the pivotal battle dubbed the Pig Hunt Operation. Therefore, he deliberately includes the toughest fighters among the cooking soldiers Po and Azolu. Though there's still time before Hermes' deadline, they decide to act early. Il makes his way toward Doris's troops, and soon both groups converge. marching together into the forest. Not only does Doris show up, but he brings along his entire battalion, proving how seriously he takes this mission. But this is bad news for Il. It's way too many. Over 500 soldiers. Naturally, Nidrake, you're no coward, right? Il can only reassure himself like that. After what feels like ages pushing deep into the forest, the earth suddenly heaves violently. Il gulps nervously. That's the one. It's coming. Good. Music. Time to flex these muscles. Doris stretches and hops down from the carriage. At that moment, Nidri bursts through the trees, revealing itself. Its roar reverberates across the landscape. Nidri's music, eerie cry, has Doris frowning. So that's the creature known as the marble-patterned beast. But I feel like I've crossed paths with it before. Doris appears lost in reminiscence. He must have encountered Nidrake sometime earlier. Il quickly interrupts his musings. Don't all beasts look pretty much the music same? Haha, I guess so. Thankfully, Doris is easily swayed by Il. Then I'll take care of this one. Make sure you tell the commander about my contribution. With that, Doris charges forth alone. Of course. I'll report everything thoroughly to the commander. Il's lips hint at a smile. Soon enough, Doris and Nidri engage in battle. And every clash sends earth-shattering booms echoing. The ground fissures and rocks splinter everywhere. My lord hero, when do we strike? At this rate, that beast will actually overpower Nidri. Rachel whispers from within Il's embrace. But Il's eyes widen in shock. He never envisioned Doris would make such a choice, sacrificing the battalion soldiers to absorb Nidri's assaults while staying largely unharmed himself. But just as the fight reaches its peak, a soldier rushes in panic, plastered across his face, yelling that another beast is music attacking. This completely disrupts Il's strategy. Isn't this Nidri's territory? By nature's law, creatures usually don't invade each other's territories. Suddenly, the earth breaks apart and a colossal worm-like creature emerges. Music, that's Cimabue. Rachel instantly recognizes the beast and yells. Why did that monstrosity appear out of nowhere? Il shouts. Yet this isn't the last beast to surface. Beasts asserting dominance in different sections of the forest keep materializing one after the other. This spirals wildly out of control. Realizing he's outgunned, Doris swiftly commands the troops to pull back. Meanwhile, Rachel's anxiety spikes. My lord hero, what's our move? We can't let Doris escape this place. Il knows our weaknesses all too well. If Doris retreats, he'll definitely pay the price with his life. Taking deep, desperate breaths to regain his composure, he slowly speaks. Lauderen combat technique first form. Ah, what in the world are you talking about? Doris looks utterly baffled, but before he can process it, Il's powerful fist slams against Doris's abdomen. Overrule that order. Retreat is absolutely off the table. Il suddenly raises his voice. Everyone listen carefully. Fight valiantly. We have no retreat. Only the survivors are worthy of the victory feast. His thunderous voice drowns out the chaos around them. Meanwhile, Doris falls deep into thought. When do demons burn with rage? When they're beaten to a pulp? No. Or when they lose in a succession of commands? Still wrong. It's when betrayed by those insipid humans. He showed them kindness, yet they dare to backstab him. Doris's fury reaches a boiling point, nearly driving him to madness as he yearns to charge and shred Il to pieces. Il. Crimson light ignites in Doris's eyes, fixated on one thought. Eliminate Il. Music. Doris resolves himself and unleashes his ultimate hidden power. Demon Bloodline, second stage bloom. This technique sacrifices one's life force for explosive might. Il is left in utter shock, and even Rachel urges him to escape immediately. But Doris's attack is merciless and deadly. His aura erupts outwards with him at the center, annihilating the beast, Cimabue nearby. Music. Luckily, Il is at a safe distance, so his injuries aren't severe. But Doris's wrath remains unshaken. I'll rip you apart. In this crucial moment, Il remembers his two hidden aces, Popo and Azalu. Where could they be? Rachel expresses concern. They appear to have been pulled into Cimabue's burrow. Hearing this, Il feels a hopeless weight crash down. It's now up to him to take down Doris single-handedly, an almost insurmountable task. However, music at that instant, an almost unattainable goal. Yet music at that precise moment, Doris's body convulses, coughing up blood. This signals Il that Doris's potent technique comes with catastrophic repercussions. With no time to waste, Il darts away. Rachel, hurry and tell me what beasts are nearby. At 11 o'clock, if you continue straight, you'll hit the ogre territory. Ogres are formidable beings, typically packing combat prowess over 30,000. Yet for Doris currently basking in the bloom of the second stage, they're mere garbage to be tossed aside. Just like that, one flees while the other pursues. The chase dragging on for roughly 10 minutes. Doris's patience begins to wear thin, so he halts and activates the third stage of Bloom of Blossom. Instantly, music torrents of tremendous power surge from deep within him. But at that moment, a sharp pang suddenly pierces Doris's heart, followed by a violent bout of coughing, fresh blood gushing from his mouth. Rachel perceives the demon energy within him rapidly dwindling. What's happening? Music. Have I hit my limit? I must have burned through too much stamina in that chase. Realizing how serious this is, Doris turns and bolts. Hey, where do you think you're going? Buddy, just you wait. Once I'm back to full strength, you're toast. Maybe his energy is just too low. Doris barely gets a few steps in when Il closes the gap. You can't run from me. Il tightens his fist, channeling all his mana into it. Lauderen combat technique, 7th form destruction shockwave. But to music, his astonishment even in such a spent state, Doris manages to counter his most powerful strike. The mana from both sides clashes in the air, threatening to tear the world apart at any moment. But suddenly an unseen force disrupts their battle, hurling Il backward. Damn it, what's happening? Confused, he quickly glances up, only to see Doris clinging to Hermes' leg, pleading for mercy. Please save me, Commander. But all he gets in return is a surge of intense demonic energy from Hermes. Shut up, Doris. How foolish can you be to be annihilated by a mere human? Doris immediately falls silent, and seizing their moment of shock, Il lunges forward in one fluid motion, just as we agreed. At this music second, I'm declaring a battalion commander defeated, the instant his words leave his mouth. Il's kick crashes brutally into the back of Doris's head, declaring, claiming to have taken down a battalion commander isn't wrong. A broad smile spreads across Hermes' enormous lips. How intriguing. Music. He bursts into uncontrollable laughter. In the office, Hermes asks, I instructed you to bring down a battalion commander, and this is the strategy you chose. I tried every strategy I could think of, but I never expected such chaos would ensue among the troops. Hermes roars with laughter after hearing Il's account. What on earth went through your mind to come to such decisions? I'd love to crack it open and find out. Il freezes at this statement. Please hold back your curiosity. I would greatly music appreciate it. Hermes senses Il is twisting her words, but given that this is the first time, she reluctantly admits Il completed the mission. I'm really not pleased. Don't let that occur again. Il can only nod like a compliant subordinate. Yes, my lord. Thank you very much. Back at Popo's home, Il collapses to the floor. Phew, I genuinely thought I was done for. Today was utterly draining. Every second felt like treading on eggshells. By the way, what was that enhancement form Doris unleashed? It appears to be a skill uniquely from the demon race. We might need to ask that monitor about it. Picking up on their chat, Popo, who is resting at home, peeks out and calls out cautiously. Okay, music, okay. Popo worked hard too. I'm sorry I couldn't tend to you better. Upon hearing this, Popo chirps cheerfully, seemingly indicating all is well. Ah, so adorable. Il continues to pat Popo's head. Speaking of which, I do feel a twinge of sadness for Doris. He treated me well, yet in the end, I deceived him. Really, you don't seem the slightest bit remorseful to me. Rachel's gaze sharpens into slits. No, I'm truly sorry. Il hides his face behind his hands, but his smirk peeks through. Music, come on, you're grinning right now, aren't you? Move your hands. After taking down Doris, Il skyrockets to level 420 and his combat power hits a staggering 13,936 points. Amazing. Music. Let's keep this energy rolling and push ahead. Time to celebrate with a drink. Rachel sets down a hefty mug of beer. Here's to defeating Doris. 3 days later at dawn, Il shows up at the training grounds early, even half an hour before Lauderen. You're here, Lauderen. Yes. Congrats on taking down Doris. Thanks. Il strolls over slowly, seizing the moment to ask Lauderen, do you know about battle aura? Lauderen closes his eyes in thought, then nods after a moment. Though it's a bit early, you should be fine. Actually, Lauderen was originally intending to teach battle aura later, as it can be quite perilous. If one practices battle aura without a firm foundation, it could endanger their body. Lauderen starts to explain the fundamentals of battle aura. Battle aura is mainly split into two categories. The first type is tangible battle aura that follows specific techniques, music. The second is intangible battle aura, much like flowing breath, lacking any patterns compared to usual battle aura. Intangible battle aura is considerably rarer, and the bloom of blossom that Doris utilized belongs to this category. According to Il's perception, the first type represents an attack skill, while the second acts as a buff skill. Lauderen continues. The evolution form is an ancient combat skill. Music. Anyone capable of using demon energy can learn it, but few attempt it due to the severe side effects. Il ponders deeply. Could I possibly learn this evolution form skill as well? I think I have dark magic inside me too, but Lauderen clarifies that it merely resides in his being, not dark magic he generates. Then it shouldn't be an issue, right? Even if things go south, we still have Lady Abelson around. Il is eager to master this technique despite the risks. Lauderen rubs his forehead, bowing his head in thought for a prolonged time. So Il kneels and clutches Lauderen's leg. If you don't teach me, I'll be done for. You know Commander Hermes' temperament. She might force me to duel a regiment commander tomorrow. Amidst his desperate pleas, Lauderen can only relent but warns him to be ready as it might jeopardize his life. Understood. Every second I'm here I'm playing with fire. Now let's get started. Meanwhile, in the underground prison of the Galen Empire's cathedral right before the Pope hangs a bloodied and battered figure, none other than Osel Geffen. After failing to rescue the saints, he's been labeled a criminal. His cracked lips quiver. The Pope. Is it beginning? Another session of torture. Agony masked as penance. The Pope nods, confirming Geffen's words. I'll offer you a chance to redeem your sins. The Pope's repulsive words make him want to gag. But Osel isn't ready to meet his end just yet. What chance? Eliminate Abelson Marriott. The Pope's expression, music turns icy. Geffen thinks he must have misheard. What did you just say? Why? This makes no sense. Eliminate the candidate, saints. What do you achieve from this? The Pope stays silent, merely stating that the reason need not be shared. Geffen shakes his head. I can't take on this mission. The glutton lurking in the Black Castle is far beyond my control. Upon hearing this, the Pope's stern face softens instantly. No worries, we'll make our move when the glutton's out. Plus, music. I'll send 3 knights to support you. You must succeed this time, Geffen. As you strive for glory, failure is simply not an option. Meanwhile, over on the other side, after experiencing evolution form for the first time, Il starts foaming at the mouth and collapses, barely clinging to life. Luckily, Lauderen calls for Abelson. Are you both out of your minds? Forcing a human to practice a combat technique meant for demons, Il claims he's fine and eventually the demon energy left inside him will fade away. Abelson glares at Lauderen with a threatening gaze. Are you a cleric when you aren't even an expert yourself? How can you be so certain it's safe? If we don't act, Il's chances of survival drop below 1%. Earlier, she had contained the demon energy within him, but now it's all been unleashed. In this predicament, Abelson has only one way to fully integrate the demonic power inside Il's body with his music flesh. This situation is drastically different from when the demonic power was merely lingering. It's a fundamental change of the human species that shouldn't even make sense logically. I am going to use holy power to suppress the demon energy. Then I will distribute it widely and evenly, fine-tuning the concentration in each area until it falls within an acceptable range for his body. Is this truly feasible? Lauderen's expression turns serious. I'm not sure either. I've never done anything like this before, and there are no past examples to lean on. There's also the potential that the demon energy will push back against the holy power and become aggressive. Abels holds Il's hand tightly, but regardless, we have no other choice but to at least attempt it. As her words fade, a brilliant golden light fills the area, and holy power radiating from Abelson begins to flow into Il. 3 days later, Il groans and opens his eyes. What happened to me? Before he can rise, Poe and Rachel rush in. You're awake. You finally woke up. Our hero is back. Rachel gazes intently at Il. My lord hero, are you okay? I'm okay, Il replies weakly. His memory halts at learning evolution form, but his body seems normal. Il checks his status screen. Just as I feared. The box symbol that appeared on his status screen recently has now transformed into demon energy. I'm really done for now, Rachel. Can a hero even possess demon energy? Shortly after, Il awakens. Hermes and Lauderen arrive, having heard the news. I told you he'd wake up, didn't I? Hermes listens to the whole story from Lauderen, finding it utterly intriguing. You tried to convert demon energy into human strength. With such a captivating idea, why didn't you share it with me? Hermes' tone suddenly shifts to something more serious. It seems there's a reason humans call her Saint Tess for keeping you alive in such dire straits. How about I lend you a hand? In the blink of an eye, Hermes' mouth slowly forms into a grin as she approaches step by step, unleashing her magical power. Just as Il attempts to pull away, waves of magical energy surge into his body. Overwhelmed with pain, his consciousness gradually slips away. Don't worry, Lauderen. He'll be fine. It's all okay. Just let him sleep. You should feel honored. With that baffling remark, Il's awareness vanishes entirely. The demon lord has summoned me. I have to leave, Lauderen. I need to put my trust in you. In a heartbeat. 3 days have flown by since Hermes departed, and the out-cold Il is luckily on the mend, all thanks to Abelson's dedication. Over these days, she has been providing you with exceptional care. Thank you, Lady Abelson. There's no need to thank me. It was your strength that pulled you through. Abelson suddenly murmurs, you are my last hope. This declaration leaves Il perplexed, but Abelson won't elaborate. Today's treatment is complete. I must depart, Lady Abelson. Why does she keep throwing out these weird remarks? What is she hiding from me? Once Abelson leaves, Il quickly seeks out Lauderen to request resuming training. Are you certain this is okay? Lauderen gazes at Il with worry. Lady Abelson mentioned, as long as I don't channel any magic, it's okay. At Il's words, Lauderen's mind drifts far away. It's been 3 days since Commander Hermes has been gone. This meeting held at the Demon Lord's castle occurs annually. Yet something about this year feels ominously wrong. Lauderen. Only when Il calls out repeatedly does he snap back to reality. You've been very busy lately, haven't you? You carry the weight of the Legion commander on your shoulders. Is there any way I can assist you? Lauderen shakes his head. It's all right. The commander will return soon enough, so don't worry about me. Just focus on taking care of yourself. Hearing such heartfelt words, Il swiftly bows deeply. Yes, sir. I understand. Looking at his radiant face, Lauderen has another thought. Il has certainly gotten stronger, even if he doesn't see it yet. Is this transformation due to his body adapting to demonic energy? Il's physique might be enhancing as it aligns with the demonic force. Just as he's pondering the cause of this change, Lauderen's expression suddenly stiffens. This power is holy. Inside the Demon Army's 3rd Legion HQ, Black Giant Star Lauderen detects holy power. While candidate Saint Abelson stands guard here, this power definitely doesn't belong to her. Someone is concealing holy power. There are 3, no 4 hidden holy energies lurking around. If Lauderen wasn't so acutely aware of holy power, he likely wouldn't even have noticed the irregularity. This is a signal of brewing trouble. Lauderen's abrupt declaration shocks Il. What trouble? No time to explain. Remain here, leaving Il dumbfounded. Lauderen rushes off in a certain direction, likely to conceal their movements. The invaders are advancing quietly. The infiltration is going exceptionally well. Could it be because the glutton is absent, Geffen? In contrast to the knight's calm demeanor, Geffen displays bravery this time. Keep quiet, the glutton may be missing. But another beast lurks in this castle, dubbed the Red Nightmare. Just as he wraps up, Lauderen appears and successfully intercepts them. The invaders, 4 hooded humans, stand shocked upon seeing Lauderen materialize. He's the Red Nightmare. This guy's demonic power is extraordinary. Everyone tread carefully. The leading Geffen urgently shouts battle commands to the squad. Lucas Nell, go locate St. Abelson. Orca. Together you and I will confront the Crimson Nightmare. Staring into those eyes, Music Lauderen can't help but scowl. That dude is at least at the division commander tier. Old Geffen. Drenched in madness, you can feel the divisional magic power radiating from him. Their goal is likely to rescue Abelson. Given the weight of their mission, they must have assembled their top-tier forces. The last 3 are at least at the company commander rank. Honestly, dealing with Oseljan alone is a significant challenge, but thankfully at this critical moment, Ill's voice rings out from behind. Lauderen, this seems pretty serious, so I had to rush over. The Lauderen pretends to say, did I not say to stay put and wait for me? Deep down, he's genuinely thankful. Listen, Ill, they're after the Saints. As Lauderen Music speaks, he takes off his necklace and tosses it to him. Take the Saints and get out of here fast. Use this necklace as a means to call for the higher-ups of our team. Got it, Ill nods right away. Simultaneously, the human faction starts to mobilize. Geffen and Lauderen are locked in fierce battle. Stop that guy. If this escalates, we're in serious trouble. 2 knights immediately pursue Ill. Without the commander's go-ahead, you cannot take the Saints at any cost. In that moment, Lauderen slams his fist into the ground. Laudren's combat move 7th form. Explosion shockwave. The moment his fist hits the ground with a massive boom, the earth shakes and rumbles. Thanks to Laudren's intervention, Ill makes it out safely and races straight to Abelson's chamber. Suddenly, the hero system pops up without warning. Evil villains are trying to eliminate Abelson Marriott. As the hero, Music, you've got a responsibility to protect the candidate Saint Tess. Objective guard Abelson Marriott. Reward 1,000 hero points. Evil villains targeting Abelson Marriott. This claim feels totally off base. This crew is most likely a rescue team from the Holy Galen Empire, so aren't they the good guys? The reward is overly generous. The bounty's a whopping 1,000 hero points. Ill shakes off distracting thoughts and bursts into Saint Tess's chamber. Humans. They've invaded again. The same ones as before. We've got to get out of here fast. With Laudren's necklace in hand, the Minotaurs guarding the Saint Tess let Music him pass unchallenged. The invaders are here. By Laudren's orders, we'll defend this place to the last breath and stop anyone from getting in. Human grab the Saint Tess and run. Time is of the essence. So Ill scoops Abelson up in his arms. Please forgive my brusqueness. At the Demon Army, 3rd Legion headquarters, Commander Royal is currently in a meeting with the officers. At the moment, 2 commanders are at Black Castle, each overseeing 5 battalion commanders. After Doris fell in battle, only 9 battalion commanders remain. During the meeting, a goblin suddenly bursts in with urgent news. Urgent! A human with Laudren's necklace has arrived here, claiming humans are attacking the castle in pursuit of the Saints. What's going on? Confused Royal steps out to meet Ill. This commander's look is indistinguishable from that of humans. Ill recognizes him. He's the high-ranking demon who showed up during Doris's commander selection battle. Fill me in on all the details. Ill pulls out Laudren's necklace and reveals everything that just unfolded. Upon hearing this, Royal looks completely baffled. How can humans even think of taking down the Saints? But in the very next instant, as if sensing danger, he bellows for everyone to clear the area. Sure enough, 2 dark figures suddenly swoop down from above. Their targets are locked squarely on the Saints. Even though Royal immediately tries to restrain the attackers, the distance is just too great. He realizes he's not going to make it. Just like the hero's quest foretold, their goal isn't to save Abelson, it's to eliminate him. Sharp blades rush toward them with the force to slice through anything. Laudren's combat technique 7th form. Explosion shockwave. In this crucial moment, Ill manages to confront the attackers head-on.